All right, what's up, y'all? We're here yet again, gone for 3 years, then back on every Monday on the dot. Or they're actually getting this not on Monday, but we're recording it on Monday.
I love it.
We'll see. Yeah, the last Kyle and Corin actually got really good views. I feel like normally our shit would get like 15,000 or so, or like maybe 20,000. But since we haven't done it in forever,
Yeah, that's probably the reason. People are probably going to watch that first one. Like, you probably have good viewership for that first shit, and then people are probably like, yo, this shit sucks ass cheeks, and you're going to have like half. If it's solid this week, then I'll like fuck with the people. I was reading some of the comments. People were happy that we're back, so I'm happy that we're back. But yeah, if they stay with us this week, then those are real ones and those are real numbers. But like, it's kind of inflated a little bit because people were probably like, what the hell is it? Because you had mad more like subscribers now too than probably like the last time we had the shit.
Yeah, but that's no guarantee. Like, you have to, in order to get a lot of views, you have to like put a lot of care into like, you got to put a lot of care into like titles and thumbs. And what for our podcast, I just sort of throw it up there. It's just like, if you want it, it's here. If you don't want it, it's fine. But like, this is just me and Corin just shooting the shit, you know. So for it to get, I think it got, last I saw, it was like 43,000 views or something. But for it to get that many views in that, like, with the title like it had and just the picture just being me and you, it was actually like, damn, people just clicked it because it was like a novelty. Like, we hadn't been back in a while. And so they were like, oh, I got to watch this. But if you look at like the average length of the view, I saw that on the back end of YouTube, and it was like average view duration, 11 minutes.
How many?
11 minutes.
Oh, so people only watch for 11 minutes and then dipped out?
I think it's like 11 minutes on average. That's what happens. Yeah.
Damn, fuck everyone then. Out of what was fair, like 2 hours, we had 11 minutes. That's kind of like ass cheeks. Damn, now I feel like no one's fucking with us really.
But I mean, to be fair, like you never have a situation where it's like the average view is like an hour and 20 minutes of the hour and 51-minute podcast.
True. But 11 minutes that's a fucking badass to like percentage if someone were to like share that shit. I mean,
it is what it is. It's no big deal. Could you like back up just a little bit from the mic just to like,
my fault.
Because my shit is low and your shit is hot, and so people are going to be like,
what's happening?
Ear up to the speaker, then dipping away, then ear up, then dipping away. But yeah, no, it was fun, man. That was one of the longer podcasts we did too, huh?
It was good to be back. Molly was excited. I know Jed was excited. I know we're gonna get at least like 3 views from my dad. Molly and my brother are always gonna listen to that shit. I'll never listen to it back. It's like when you said you'll just throw the shit up there and it's kind of like, here, take it how it is. That's always like how I've like done my homework, done all my like reports, done all like everything. Is just like, I'm gonna write this shit out once. I'm gonna say this shit once. If I have to go back and do it again, I think there was some times where like it might have even been like recording a podcast when I was doing that shit on Corin's World, where like something would fuck up and then it'd be like, yo, we got to do that again. I'll just be like, nah, it's like not like I'll never. It's tough to like re-record something or have to like rethink of like how, like if you hit that the first time perfectly and you think you hit every note, like you draft a perfect email and it goes away. You put something in Microsoft Word and it's perfect and you don't save it. You might as well just like quit your job, never like log back into the app, because it's impossible to try and like think back. For me, at least, other people maybe are better with like, hey, I remember what I wrote.
Yeah, me and Crystal were actually talking about something similar the other day. There are shoot from the hip people, and then there are like, let me do a lot of prep type people.
Yep.
And you saw that like that came up in like with the debates, for example. Like you could tell that Kamala Harris, her whole team was like, here's the strategy, here's the shit that you're going to say, memorize your lines. And she was like, I got it. I can do that. That's so she's like a prep type person.
Yep.
And then there's other people, and I actually think Tim Walz is a good example of this. He's definitely not a prep too much type person. He's the kind of person who needs to shoot from the hip in order to be good, which is why, like, in cable news interviews, he's really, really good and really, really compelling and says stuff that sort of goes viral. But in the debate, he sort of underperformed because he wasn't, like, I think he was overcoached by the Kamala campaign. And so he's sitting there trying to think, like, what's the shit I should say next? Like, what was that line that they told me I should say? And so he was like a little stiff, and his like charisma wasn't allowed to come out. And I know for me and Crystal Crystal's the type who she likes to be super duper prepared, right? And I'm the type, I like to prepare, but my type of preparation is literally just like bullet points of shit to say.
Yep.
Just give me just the bullet points, and then I have to riff on top of that. If you give me too much shit to remember, and I gotta say, it's like I would freeze up too, because it's like I'm never gonna deliver everything that's written down in as charismatic a way as I could deliver it if I'm just shooting from the hip. It's just like this podcast. Like, there's no way I'm gonna have better, more coherent thoughts if I write it down beforehand and then I sit here and I try to repeat the shit that I wrote down for you.
Yep.
I've never been that type of person. I've never been the type of person who could really over prepare and then like come across good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess to your point, I guess everyone's just different, because I've been the same way. Like, literally, I have one thing written down, and it was farting, because literally before we got on air, I wanted to mention it because my farts have been on point, to a point where like they've kind of been smelling so good, like they've been happening a lot that Molly's been noticing them, and it just so happens that like, and this happens every time, but like when you're on like a farting spree, or like happen to just let one out in the supermarket or something, someone will always walk up to you and say some shit, do some shit, like there'd be nobody around. So lately, I kind of been letting it go. I've been eating crappy, and they've been smelling like kind of on point. I've kind of been enjoying it. So every time she comes around me, I'm like, yo, you're just walking up at a bad time. So that's one thing I have written down, that like I saw that word and I was going to hopefully like elaborate on that. But I wouldn't be able to like put a whole PowerPoint together on farting. I just know that like, because I've been eating bad food, my shits have been kind of smelling on point.
All right, so let me ask, when you first said, like, I forget the exact way you phrased it, but you said, like, I've been farting on point or something like that. In my mind, I'm immediately going, well, hold on. Does that mean they're really loud but don't smell? Or they smell bad and they're quiet? Or, like, I was trying to piece together, like, what do you mean your farting's been on point? Because to me, my first thought was they sound like the comic book-ass fart, like a whoopee cushion type fart, but it doesn't actually smell all that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not a perfect it's not a perfect sound. There is a sound, I think, but it's more of like a cushion, like poof. Like if you were to sit on some like powdered sugar on a pillow, like, and the poof would all come off of it. That's kind of what it is. I think there's a little sound to it, but it's not like, not a crazy good sound. There's some sound, but it's more the power behind it. Like there's good power coming from it, that like if there was a spray chart or something like that, would fill up like a whole area of a room, as opposed to just maybe like a little puff or something like that. But
you were saying it doesn't smell bad? Was that
no, they smell bad. They smell bad.
Oh, they smell bad. Okay.
But bad to a point where like it's almost good. Like I don't mind them at this point. Someone else might not mind it. They're going to definitely notice it, but I don't know if they'll mind it or not. And maybe like if you were thinking yours were smelling good and I smelt it, I'd probably be like, I don't know. It doesn't smell good to me because it's not my stank. I don't know.
So it was funny too that you were talking about like, I've been eating terrible and that's why. Because in my experience, usually when you eat like not great food, your farts actually don't smell that bad.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's when you start eating crazy healthy
asparagus and broccoli and all that stuff is when it starts smelling worse, right?
Like if you eat a really, really good diet, you'll probably have some of the most putrid ass smelling farts of all time. That's what I've noticed in my experience. Yeah.
You should be kind of rewarded for eating good food. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like it should be not. And I think I covered a story on this like a decade ago where somebody developed a pill that was like, you take it and your farts don't smell. And I was like,
surprise me.
But like, okay, why can't you just buy that bitch at CVS? And why isn't everybody buying it out of respect for everybody else around them? You know what I'm saying? Like that seems like if somebody actually invented that, it should be a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, right?
Yeah, that should be a pretty popular pill. that would be one that, yeah, but you can't. I don't know that I'm gonna fart. You know, I don't know I'm gonna burp. I don't know when I'm gonna sneeze. You know, so like I wouldn't want to take that pill knowing, you know, or like anticipating that I'm gonna fart. You know, but I guess maybe when you eat that bad food, you're more prone to farting.
When you eat, no, see, in my experience, when you eat bad food, you not only do your farts not smell as bad, you don't even fart as much, right? Like
Yeah,
that's my experience. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people have a different experience. But if you eat some healthy ass vegetarian, paleo, whatever, like there's so many good diets that are good for your body
yeah,
that you just be lighting it the fuck up. Like vegetarians just can burn a house down
yeah. It's probably
with
yeah,
because your body's just processing all of these like vegetables and shit.
yeah. I guess I don't know. I was at a street fair and they had it was like they had Chef Ed, like it was like Chef Ed's fish fry, and he had some like old ass shit and was like frying some fish. Shit looked banging. They had like Chef Ron, like they had all these random chefs, like, and they all of their shit looked on point. And then they had like a vegan stand, and I was just like, why would anyone go to that? Why would anyone go to that one when there's all these one street fairs? You think you're gonna go and it's gonna be cheap food, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good, but it's dumb expensive, and there's mad people and there's mad different options. So if you go to a street fair, I would say don't eat the first food you see. Like definitely walk down the block, turn, see the next block, and then come back and choose what the hell you want to eat.
Am I bugging, or is like funnel cake the shit to get at street fairs? Or am I thinking of like carnivals or?
Yeah,
I know
probably
like
more a carnival fare, and I'm not a funnel cake. And the most
I'm a funnel cake dude. I love funnel cake, man. That shit is delicious.
That's it to me is like it's too powdery. It looks like an alien because all of the like it's all like squiggly.
Delicious.
I don't even know how the bread gets formed like in that shit. It's kind of like
They just fry dough. Like it's just frying dough. That's the whole shit.
It's kind of an art. It's like challah. Like I don't know how challah works where it's like if someone's braiding it specifically, but like for different breads to take their shapes and forms is kind of like it's pretty impressive. There's a bakery that I go to every day, and they've got like every corner of the shit is a different bread. There's like one that's like kind of ovally. There's an egg roll, and it's like it looks like a figure eight. There's bagels. There's challah. I don't know how, and maybe there's a pan or some shit like that they all like take shape in.
Yeah, I never thought about it. I always just thought they threw a whole bunch of fucking dough into a fryer and then it just came out looking like a brain, like you were saying with the funnel cake.
The funnel cake is a weird one.
This summer I got it at like the boardwalk somewhere when we were at the beach, and the shit was the biggest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I'm a dude where you give me a meal, I'm probably gonna go through whatever portion you give me. Like I'll eat the whole shit. But I wasn't even able to get through half of this shit.
Damn.
Which goes to show you how fucking gigantic it was.
Was it hot?
Yes, it was hot.
Because I feel like sometimes temperature can like throw off temperature outside can throw off for me the portion of what I'm eating. I don't know about like the actual food, but that's kind of like surprising because funnel cake is one where it's like French fries where I feel like you could keep picking back at that shit and just like eat the whole plate.
I swear to God, bro, this shit was like the size of my upper body.
Damn.
Like not my head, like my whole upper body. It was this big thing. And I remember we were with a bunch of people and we got like a bunch of funnel cakes for everybody. And then when we got them, we were like, yo, we will literally never be able to eat this whole thing. It's impossible to eat this whole thing.
But that's not one where you probably wanted to share with that whole crew.
Well, after seeing how big it was, I was like, people eat whatever the fuck. But at the beginning, no. But I fuck with funnel cake. I fuck with, you ever had Zeppelis? That's the, at like sometimes at pizzerias. Yes. It's just like fried dough balls that they put the sugar on. Shit. Sometimes they have Nutella in the middle. Oh, that shit is delicious, bro. I fuck with churros. Churros are my like. Shit.
Yep.
Who doesn't like? If you don't like churros, something's wrong with you, right?
I like churros. I'm not a fan of the flavored churros. I think that is a little overkill.
I don't know if I've ever had one. I've just had the regular churros, like they're like cinnamony type.
Yeah.
Right?
They have some though where they put like vanilla frosting in it, chocolate frosting, strawberry frosting, and it's not bad, but the OG ones are way better.
Bro, sometimes I'm gonna say something controversial now. I'm curious if you agree with it. Ready? This is I'll admit that this is controversial. This is an unpopular opinion. You ready? I sort of fuck with the original donut.
Like a glazed one or
No. The original shit. It's just the donut. It's not glazed. It's just like the donut. Have you ever had an original donut? It's like the shit you'd see in a cop movie in 1983. It's just like, I don't even know how to describe it.
No,
it's
I
just
think
like
I know what you're talking about.
the donut.
And it's like, but it's like cake, right?
It's kind of like cake, yeah, but it's like almost like a coffee cake type thing, but it's no crumbles on top of it. Like just the original donut. I know this is unpopular.
Yeah, that one's going to be super unpopular because that's when you take a bite and you're like.
The problem is that people love everybody obviously loves all the different things you can put on a donut, whether it's a chocolate donut or a vanilla donut or a glazed donut or, whatever, fill in the blank with whatever kind of delicious ass donut. Mm-hmm. We all like all those donuts, right? But because there are so many options with so much shit on it, nobody's ever given the original donut a chance. Just have that regular ass shit every now and then. If you are like, man, my diet's all fucked up, I've been eating all fucked up, I want a donut, but I don't want the jelly one that's got all the sugar and the jelly
Sprinkles.
Inside. I'll just have the regular donut. I guarantee you, if you do that, you'll walk away going, better than I expected.
You know what's crazy about that? I don't even know if Dunkin' Donuts sells that shit. I think
they do. They do. They
do.
Stop, but they did in the past. Last time I had one from there was like a decade ago, but they did. Oh. They do have it at Dunkin' Donuts. I've had them from Dunkin' Donuts before.
Okay, because I was gonna say their standard. I thought was a glazed. I thought that's where they were like, this is our base shit is glazed donut.
No, the base shit was the regular donut. I don't know if they still have them, but I will say this: I've been given regular donuts their props, but some places might have whack ones. Mm-hmm. But the Dunkin' Donuts one was actually pretty good, and I've had other ones. Here's the bad one. You ready? The bad one is going to be if
Bob's
you go to
Bakery.
A gas station. You just go to a gas station and get some off-the-shelf shit in a wrapper that's a regular donut. Sometimes those ones are trash. But there's some plain donuts that are better than any. Because, look, I honestly think I'm the only person in America who's bought one of those shits in the past 20 years. Nobody.
That shit's probably been there for 20 years at the gas station.
Yeah.
The shits that they perfect at a gas station is the buttered roll. A buttered roll at a gas station.
Bro, that's a Northeast thing. You don't see that shit in the West or in the South.
Oh,
that's
for real?
Only, 100%. That's a New York. That's just like a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah,
is a New York thing. It's a Northeast thing. So is a buttered roll. Buttered roll is not a thing. You can be somewhere in the West or whatever and be like, let me get a buttered roll. They're looking at you like,
that's kind of impressive because I didn't think that. I thought that was universal. Just a dude buttering some rolls, putting it in the paper, and keeping it moving.
Nope.
What about, did you ever grow up with just butter on bread and then you take one loaf of bread, put butter on it, and then just fold it in half?
Yes, but now I'm gonna say something else that's controversial right now. So my mom's Italian, or my mom's Italian, and I come from an Italian family. But sort of fuck Italian bread. I don't fuck with Italian bread. I fuck with French bread. French bread is the softer shit. Italian bread is hard on the outside.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like it's kind of stale to me, even when it's not stale, because I don't like the hard exterior on the bread. I like the French bread that's soft as fuck everywhere.
But I think there's even there's even softer with potato bread. Might be soft.
Banging. I love potato bread. Delicious.
A little yellow, right?
Yeah, I fuck with that. Delicious.
And then the most banging. Can you guess?
Hawaiian bread?
Hawaiian.
Yeah, Hawaiian, it's great. It's got a little sweetness to it. It's delicious.
Next level. The Hawaiian rolls, I think everyone universally could just be those are the best. That was that was my pre-wedding gift to you and Crystal. I showed up when we were in Texas with a half a bag. Or no, you gave me Hawaiian rolls.
Crystal did. Crystal, it was the first time you and Crystal actually met in person, and she gave you Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, she was just hey, nice to meet you. Here's 6 Hawaiian rolls that we have left. I wasn't even mad. I kind of was just sure. I'll be
those shits are absolutely delicious, man. Everybody loves Hawaiian rolls. You're crazy if you don't love Hawaiian rolls.
Banging.
They're amazing.
And they come in hot dog. They have hot dog buns that are Hawaiian roll type.
Oh, I've never seen those. That's crazy. I've never seen those before.
Hamburger buns. It's just, I don't know, what is it Is it like why is it Hawaiian? Is it like just because like Hawaii is like sweet? Like how is that? Like, are there like what does bread come from trees? Like what why is it like why is Italian bread? I'm just even thinking that like why is Hawaiian bread like that? Why is Italian bread like a little harder than like white bread? Why is white bread dumb cheap? Like are they trying to say that white people are cheap? Like
White bread doesn't mean like from white people. It's just like literally white.
I mean, low key, like the bread is kind of like its own little nationality.
In Italy, I guess that's how they made it. They had made the bread that was like, you know, kind of hard on the outside, and soft on the inside. But
and Hawaii just made that shit sweeter.
Better. Yeah, see, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that because Hawaiian bread, I feel like, is a relatively new thing. So I'm not sure where it came from, but I do know it's just like a sweet bread. I think there's a lot of countries that have like a relatively sweet bread type option. And yeah, that shit is delicious, man. But to go
there's
back
no like
to
Asian bread.
They eat more rice in Asia than they do like bread. And bread is kind of bad for you. Like bread is sort of bad for people. You know, it's just like pure carbs.
Well,
like,
that's like the first thing when someone's like, I'm losing weight or I want it. They're like, well, cut out bread. It's like the universally like bad thing.
You'll immediately lose weight if you cut out bread. There's no doubt. But to go back to the other thing you were saying about farts, have you ever heard of this stuff called...
Who's ever said that? To go back to what you were saying about farts.
Have you ever heard of this stuff? It's a spray for your toilet, and it's called like Poopery, and then they have other knockoff ones.
I think I have. You spray it, but you spray it before you take a dump, right?
You spray it in the toilet before you take a shit.
Yep.
And then what happens is it's like an oily thing, and so when you shit, it keeps the like stench in the toilet. So it makes it so that if you take a shit and, you know, let's say you're around a lot of people or whatever, it's a bathroom a lot of people use, or you're at some family holiday gathering or some shit, it'll make it so like 85 to 90% of the smell is just gone because you sprayed it beforehand. And like that shit should be universal. Right? Like, shouldn't it be universal? Like, shouldn't everybody have that shit in their house? Well, shouldn't it be something?
It should just
like,
be
it just
built
seems to
in
me
toilet
like a no-brainer.
It should just be like the way
like
they have bidets now. Yeah, there should be like a little. Because I would almost think it's kind of weird. Like, if you came to my crib and there was like, say my house, we had like a security thing, like you have to go through at a basketball game, and you had to like clear out your pockets before you walk into my crib. And I saw that you had like that poop sprayer thing on you, I'd almost be like, nah. I'd be like, yo, first off, what are you like anticipating doing in my house? And second off, like, nah, hell no. Like, that shit is just gonna it's like, don't spray that shit in my house.
Carrying it around would be weird.
Into my house, pretend like anticipating taking a diesel ass shit.
Yeah, carrying it around is way over like that's kind of crazy to carry that around. That's like next level type germophobia type stuff. But it should just be at everybody's house.
Yeah.
It's just such an obvious. Like nobody wants to walk in there and smell the inside of your asshole, right? Like nobody wants to do that. So make it so you got every bathroom should have the Poopery spray, right? Which we do in every bathroom in our house. Chilling. We got that, and we have Febreze or Lysol or whatever, so that you spray before you go, you spray after you go, and it's like nobody ever even took a shit, bro.
That's
and it's
clutch.
Like just I know, it's just like this is how are other people living where they're just smelling everybody inside everybody's asshole every day of the week. Like I'm not trying to smell the inside of your asshole and then like just look you in the eyes and have a normal conversation like I'm not smelling the inside of your asshole right now. Like that's just what it is, right? It just makes sense. Like, let's just eliminate that part of having to deal with stuff, right?
I guess. I mean, essentials for a bathroom are, which I don't think our bathrooms have them. I think all of our bathrooms have that like brushy thing that like goes into something that you can take out and like kind of.
Oh, the toilet brush. That's crucial.
Toilet brush is a necessity.
Yeah, you don't want to leave marks. That's
but
crazy.
Is a plunger necessary in every? Because I feel like it was an old school thing to have a plunger in every bathroom, but it's kind of been phased out.
So you're right and you're wrong. You're right in that it is the case that a lot of bathrooms don't have plungers.
Yeah.
But you're wrong in that they definitely should have them because there's a lot of people who just take colossal diesel shits that will clog the toilet every time.
Yep.
And so you need to have a plunger there so that they can plunge it. When I was like, starting at like 16 until like 25, I would just clog toilets like nobody's business, bro. Like, it was just ridiculous. It was like it was just guaranteed every time I went, to the point where it was like I need to have a plunger next to the toilet.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna clog somebody's toilet and then leave it like that. That's crazy.
And you could get set up. You could be like perfectly good like shitter, and someone before you, there could be a toy stuck, there could be some hair that clogged up, and you're just that person that kind of gets stuck that one time, and there's no plunger there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You're kind of shit out of luck, no pun intended.
Yeah, or the other thing is, apparently if people use a lot of toilet paper, if you take a shit and you throw a lot of toilet paper in there, that could also clog it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like you just need it. Like, you just need it. If you don't have it, people be in a lot of embarrassing ass situations.
Plunger's important, and also now we have the squatty potty. Another banger. You have one of those?
Yeah. You're saying for the girls?
No, like for me, it was on Shark Tank. It like positions your legs.
I was thinking of the wrong thing. I was thinking of like a booster seat for the girls or some shit. Like
no, I mean, I should probably have one of those too. But the squatty potty keeps your feet off the ground.
Shitting's easier, right?
Yeah,
that's the idea. It makes it so you shit immediately or whatever.
Yeah, that's one.
We don't have one of those.
That's a good one for a bathroom essential as well. But without those, I don't know what you're doing in your bathroom.
Yeah. No, you gotta. I'm telling you, everybody listening to this right now, go get some Poopery. That one's kind of expensive, I think. So maybe get the whatever the other, just the knockoff brand of the shit is. Get some Febreze in there, and then just live an easy breezy life, man. You never have to deal with awkward ass smells in the bathroom anymore. You're chilling. It's like nothing ever happened. I'll
stay away. I mean, I'll try and cut back on it because Molly's been tight at some of it, but
try to cut back on farting.
It's like gasoline. Like a little bit, I'll be like, this smells okay, but I smell too much, and I'm probably like, nah, it's probably not good to be smelling all that gasoline. Also, shout out to Costco, because Costco's gas is mad cheap.
Costco's great. I love Costco. Costco's phenomenal, man.
Banger. Costco's good, and then there's like the bootleg Costco. I went today. We got like a membership for like $15 because they had something one time. Oh, like we were gonna buy a barbecue grill and BJ's. BJ's is so hood. There was like one dude that was like trying to be Costco, like checking people out, but he was also just like, just go. Like, I don't know, what the fuck do I care? Like, you're buying stuff from our store. So I respect BJ's because they're kind of like, we're going to try and be like Costco's and Sam's Club and like check your membership and like do the whole thing and have somebody like checking your receipt on the way out. But they don't enforce any of that shit. You could walk in, buy your stuff, and then just walk out.
Yeah, Costco, I know Sam's Club is the one that's connected to Walmart. So all the shit there is like cheap Chinese bullshit, and they pay their workers nothing. Costco is like they pay their workers good. They still got that
really?
What is it, like $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink or whatever. Like they just and the CEO of it or the owner was like, yeah, we're not changing that.
Oh, that's what's up.
They were like, yeah, but inflation's going crazy and like you can charge more. And he's like, nah, we're not changing that. And I was like, damn, you pay your workers good and you do that? Like, come on, man. So we go to, for us, it's like Costco sometimes we'll go to, and then there's some other, we have a Walmart near us. It's unavoidable sometimes. You got to go to Walmart, which by the way, that reminds me, I got to tell you my whole eye doctor thing in a second because Walmart is involved in the whole shit.
Oh,
but then
you go to the eye doctor at Walmart?
No.
Oh,
but I had to get something from Walmart. I'll walk you through it in a minute. And then there's like Food Lion in the grocery store that there's
Food Lion I've heard of.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, you've heard of Food Lion? Okay, yeah. I feel like it's more of a mid-Atlantic and southern thing than Northeast. Yeah.
But
all right, so yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. I mean, just to close out BJ's was kind of like I don't know how they're gonna sustain like keeping up with Costco and all that shit because I don't know what. They don't. I mean, maybe because they don't enforce any of their shit. But I digress. I mean, kind of shout out BJ's, but also kind of fuck them because it was a little grimy in that shit.
Yeah, nobody's gonna do it like that.
They didn't have any free samples either. You can go to Costco and kind of like get blessed with samples.
Yeah, Costco is they're another level. They're goated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me tell you about my whole eye doctor bullshit, man. This shit is crazy. So, I never go to the eye doctor. Like, I never do shit I'm supposed to do. Like, I never go to the eye doctor,
Change
go
your
to the
oil.
dentist, go to the doctor, change my oil. Like, I'm the type of person who's just like, I'm good. And it's like, bro, you have literally like 0.1% left on your gas meter. And I'm like, I just won't drive anywhere.
Yeah, we've spoken about some shit where it's been
we've literally got stranded before. We told the story. Yeah,
scary.
It's been rough. Yeah, I know. And
To
I
a point where
got
I'm like,
overconfident because
I gotta mention this shit to him because, like, does he see that his gas is like inverted? like the line is going like it's almost back to full. That's how low the shit is.
That was my old Cavalier.
OD.
It would literally drop below E, and then you'd be like, "You kind of need gas." And I'm like, "No, it goes a lot lower than that."
You've told me that, and I've trusted you. I always trust you, but there would be some moments, and there was moments where we stranded out.
There was one
I
where
was
I
like,
really fucked up. Yeah,
I was like, I don't think you know how much more gas you have left in this car.
We got stranded. So we've told the story before, but we were driving to go play poker in the city. We get there and then realize, like, I don't have my ID, or you don't have your ID or money or whatever. Somebody was missing something.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, we got to go back and get it and then come back. And so on the drive back to our place, the shit just...
Well, on the way down,
we just run out.
On the way down, the first time I was even like, yo, your shit's a little low to get to New York City. You're like, nah, we're like more than good. So I was like, okay. And then when we got there and forgot whatever we forgot, we went all the way back. And then the second time I was like, yeah, we're definitely not good this time. If the first time we weren't good, and you're like, you were less confident, but still confident enough to be like, oh, we'll still be good. And it wasn't until going back, I don't think, where we were like, yo, maybe we should get off somewhere and get some gas. And at that point, you still were even like, it's cutting it close now, but I think we're still good. and ultimately, we weren't good.
But for people who don't know New York City, like, for some reason, there's 0 gas stations anywhere. And so we were like on the West Side Highway or some shit, and we were like, we need to find a gas station, but they don't exist for like 4 square miles. Right?
It's kind of wild.
It is. They have no fucking gas stations.
There's none like in the middle.
Transit.
It's just on like the outskirts of the city, and there's like 4 total.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, anyway, that was good times. I remember that. We told that story on the podcast before. Hilarious. Okay, so as I was saying, I never do shit that I'm supposed to do. And so finally it got to the point where I was running out of my contacts, and I was like, I gotta go. It's either I just suck it up and just wear my glasses 24/7, or I gotta go to the eye doctor. I probably need new glasses and contacts. So anyway, I go to the eye doctor, and like, I'm sort of in a dire situation because I'm like done with contacts. I have one more pair. They're in my eyes, and I already been wearing them for too long, right? But the 2 options of glasses I have, one of those shits is too weak, and one of those shits is too strong. So one of them, my eyes are really fucked up. These numbers sort of blow people's minds. Yeah. But my shit is like -7 in both eyes, and that's really bad.
Wait, that's for your contacts, or?
That's for glasses and contacts. Oh, I'm -7.
Minus 0.25?
That's all yours is?
Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. Minus 2.25.
Yeah, yours are like, your eyes are bad, but like normal bad.
You have -7?
That's right.
Whoa.
Yeah. I in fact, Crystal put my glasses on the other day just to see what it would look like through it, and she was like, damn, what the fuck? Like, what? This is crazy. It's like, yeah, what can I say?
You take your glasses off, you probably can't see like diddly dick.
No, I can't. No. Damn. Yeah, my eyes are really bad.
Yeah, 7 is wild. That's like award winning or some shit. Like,
no. So funny enough, like, it's really bad for like 90% of people. But if you talk to the eye doctor, they're like, nah, we get people in here way worse than
really?
your shit.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of weird that like I'm bad for normal people, but like there's some people who are just in a totally separate league.
Yeah.
But yeah, my eyes are bad. Don't get me wrong, my eyes are bad. Most people, the worst they hear is somebody has a -5 or whatever the fuck. No, I'm -7. So my glasses, I have 2 pair of glasses. One of them is way too strong. One of them is way too weak. The one that's way too strong, the last time I went to the eye doctor, the shit was like, I was just wrong when I was doing my eye test, and I was like, yeah, this is good. And then I got them after, and I'm like, fuck, these are horrible. Like, like these are too strong and weird, and everything looks like circular. So I go there and see, I fucked up right off the bat because I wasn't assertive enough. So like when the eye doctor was like, we go through the test, whatever, the eye doctor is talking about contacts, and she's like, maybe it's a good idea if you get like a contact that's a little more comfortable for your eye. And I was like, that sounds good. Sure. Let's get it. Let me get a more comfortable contact. And so she writes up the prescription. I go get the shit filled, and I put the contact in my eye. Bro, by the end of the first day, the whites in my eyes were totally red. And I was like, what the fuck? And I felt like idiots. I'm like, why did I even change the original shit? That, like, I knew that shit worked and was good.
Yep.
But I was like, sure, why not? I'll try some new shit.
Yep.
Wrong. Don't ever do that ever.
Yep.
Stick with what you know works.
Yep.
So my shit was fucked up. So I got to go back to the eye doctor, and I'm like, and I normally, you know me, I'm the type of person to be like, if I can white knuckle it and bear it, I'll just wear these who cares? I'll just wear these.
You're the definition of like, yeah, I'll just whatever. Like, yeah, give me those shit. That's exactly. Fine.
So I have to go back. I go back, and I have her. I'm like, can you give me a prescription for the original brand I had, because this one, makes my eye really fucked up, whatever. She's like, okay, when she's in between appointments, she's doing this. So she's just like quickly writing it down, whatever.
Yep.
And so then I bring it to like the lens crafters, and I try to order the contacts. They're looking through that shit, and they're like, we don't have this brand anymore. And I'm like, oh, bro. The woman there was nice. She was like, let me give you, like, I'll give you some shits that you can just like keep and try, some sample shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's other brands you could keep and try them or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's nice of her, thank you. But I found out I can get it at Walmart, the contacts that I loved and have worn forever. And so I go to Walmart and I give them the prescription, and they're like, this shit is 2 different brands written on the prescription. This isn't even one shit. Like, this doesn't even make sense. And I'm like, oh, motherfucker. So then they got to try to call the eye doctor. The eye doctor like doesn't answer their shit. Then I talk to the eye doctors, and then the eye doctors finally talk to the Walmart people, and they say, we go through like all the, and they're asking me shit like, okay, the diameter is 13.8, right? And I'm like, do I look like I have a degree as an eye doctor? Oh. Like, what are we what are we talking about here? So anyway, I think I literally have to get like the picture of the contacts that I wore and show the eye doctors the picture and be like, this is the shit right here.
Yeah.
And so they write it out, send it to Walmart. Walmart allegedly has ordered it as of like 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, you haven't even gotten them yet?
Haven't even gotten them yet. And the first eye doctor's appointment was like a week and a half ago. And so I do have these new glasses right here.
Yeah.
These are new and these are good.
Those are the right.
But the other problem, these are the right ones. These are like, it's good in terms of the prescription or whatever. But the thing is, so these are a number 7, but they changed a little bit about it. They gave me like a 1.25 thing that's called an astigmatism, which just means it's like a little less blurry, or they say it's supposed to be less blurry because my eyes are a little more fucked up than they were or whatever, which works fine with my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
But with the contacts they gave me, the astigmatism shit made it so I couldn't even, those contacts that were fucking my eyes up, I literally couldn't even see well out of them. Shit was more blurry because I didn't need the astigmatism for the contact.
Ugh.
Like, I just needed the 7 in each eye, not 7 in each eye plus 1.25 astigmatism. So I was literally like having to talk to the Walmart people and be like, I think that each contact is a number 7.
Oh, you have to explain.
And the diameter is 13.8. But I don't need the 1.25 astigmatism and whatever. And so now I'm just out literally.
Now I'm an eye doctor.
Basically. So now I've been waiting. So, but this shit was a nightmare, bro, because those old contacts were fucking my shits up hard. And I don't like wearing my glasses all the time. In fact, if I take my glasses off, you could probably see where there's a big dark red dot on this side of my nose because, Can you see it?
Yeah, a little
The
bit.
red dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the nose bridge thing like sort of digs into it, and we tried to adjust it, and
Oh,
it still just sort of digs in a little
and you
bit.
have
So
like
it's
old
like,
school because my joints they're like built into my.
yeah, yours are plastic rim. So
Yeah.
here's the other funny part. To your point, here's the other funny part. So I had picked out some glasses. I'm like, let me get these, and this is at the Lens Crafters, and they were like, you can't get that one, and I was like, what does that even mean? I can't, like, what does that mean? I can't get it. Like, of course I can. It's like this. It's right here. I want to buy it. And they were like, yeah, but your prescription is a 7, and once it gets to that big, the glasses get really, really thick. And
Oh,
so if we were to do that one with that frame, you would like hate the way it looks because it would look weird and this and that. And I was like, okay, so what options do I have that I can wear?
they
And
showed you like
they were
some
able to find.
wall.
They showed me like six pair. Like, here, pick from this.
It's
And
like
it's
child molester,
okay.
like rapist.
Yeah. And so this was the one that I liked the most out of all the options, but
Those look chill.
I ended up having to go with these, and they're fine. But
Yeah.
you know, like it was like they narrowed the store down from like 700 glasses to like 5.
Oh.
It's like, okay. So anyway, the whole eye doctor shit was such a fucking nightmare, and I'm still waiting. I still have that thing in the back of my mind, like I'm never getting these contacts.
Yeah, they're gonna come back with something that they're gonna hit you again with like we thought we can get you the joints that you had, but here's the new version of them, and it's not gonna be this. They try to hit me with the same thing. I went and did the same exact thing, and the lady was like,
Oh my god.
I loved my old contact lenses, and then like she gave me some evaluation and was like, yeah, you know, there's these new ones that like are sport moisture. I'm like, my eyes aren't more sporty than like my like change like what I didn't even know what she was saying, and it almost like had me thinking, and it's kind of got to be like the pharmaceutical company where like if they push a certain contact on you, they get some type of kickback or like someone
Yeah.
is getting hit off.
I think that's right.
Because she hit me with like some like, yeah, your contacts are good. I was like, yeah, they're good, so just give me those shits. She was like, no, but here's like the sport, they breathe better, and like you can get. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. No, you're right, man. I think that's why she sort of said, go with this one. Go with the.
Yep.
So here's what I'll tell anybody and everybody who wears contacts who listens to this is, so like me, I mostly wear my contacts. Sometimes I wear my glasses, as they see on the show. The contacts I've been wearing for years, which are great, they are night and day contacts.
Are they dailies?
And no, they're night and day. So they're monthlies, and you wear them like all month, and you can sleep in them, right? And the thing that they said, and I thought this was bullshit at the beginning, for the record. I was like, they're just making that up. That's some marketing bullshit, right? But they said, the reason why these are good for somebody like you, especially if you sleep in your contacts, the reason these are good is because they allow more air into your eye than any other contact.
They hit me with the same shit.
They're made, but you know what? For me, it was true because the second I put on the new shit, which was not the allow the air in one.
Yeah.
It wasn't the monthly. It was a 2-week one, and it was allowing. She said nothing about the air. She just said it's a thin contact. That's what she said. This one's thinner than your old one. So I thought, okay, maybe that'll be more comfortable.
Yeah.
That shit was on my eye for one day, half a day, and my eyes were getting red. So that's when I realized, like, oh, the air shit coming into my eye with my last contacts, that shit was actually real.
Yeah.
It wasn't just some PR bullshit. So now what I would tell everybody out there, I know you got the brand you like, so I'm not talking to you. Whatever brand works for you is chilling. But if you wear contacts out there, get the night and day shit. I think it's like Alcon or something is the name of the company
Alcon's
that makes
one,
it. Yeah,
I think I have those joints, but mine are daily.
Daily ones, yeah. So at the one of the samples they gave me was a daily one, and that one is way better than the 2-week one.
Yeah.
The 2-week one fucked my eye up on day one. I wore the daily one the other day. I'm going through the samples while I'm waiting for my new contacts, and those ones were actually the second best to my night and day air shits.
I just don't like that. I just don't like that daily. Obviously, change them every day. I would prefer. Because I love watching TV when I go to bed. So, like, I want to just be able to fall asleep. And if those shits are in my eyes, fall asleep. But I fall asleep with my contacts in, and I wake up, and they're like, your eyes are
your
like...
shits are fucked up. Most people are. I've been lucky in that ever since I've been wearing the monthly night and day ones, I've really been able to sleep with them no problem at all for extended periods of time. See, my problem is, and this is why I'm a fucking asshole, as everybody knows, but my problem is this shit, you're supposed to keep them in for a month. You can sleep with them for a month. But I would keep them in for like 3 months, 4 months.
I'm sure it's
right?
fine.
Yeah, but there would be some time. Here was my cue to like, it's time to throw these out, is if I actually saw my eyes getting red.
Yeah.
Or if I felt any kind of little pain or like the contact would like adjust a little bit in my eye when it should, like, that's when I'd be like, okay, it's time to throw these shits out. You know what I'm saying? But it was so crazy. After one day of some other fucking contact, I was like, yo, my old shits were the real deal. Like, they really did allow the air in my eye. They really did, like, let me sleep in them shits for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. And now I'm fucking dying for those contacts. By the way, shout out to Ireland. Apparently they're made in Ireland. That's probably why they're taking so fucking long to get here.
I mean, yeah. Or there was, because my friend's an eye doctor, and I was trying to get my contacts through him. And I used to be able to just say, like, yo, I have these. They're negative 2.25. It's this brand. And he would get them for me. And then when I moved back to New York, I was like, hey, can I get some contacts? He was like, yeah, they changed the law where, like, I can't get those shits for you anymore or something like that. Like, you got to come in and get your eyes tested.
You got to go in. Oh, I hate it so much.
I was like, why? So I was like you. I was like, I don't want to. Because he was, like, kind of far away. I had to go to a different person. I didn't want to go, like, talk to someone, get my eyes checked. They do that shit where it's like, you're going to feel a little puff on your eye. And it's in it does it with that. And then there's the other shit where it's like, keep your eyes straight and you could see like where like a red barn is. Do they do that for you?
Yep. I just had to do that. Yeah.
I didn't want to do any of that shit. So I went on like Google and I was just like, can I order contacts? And there was actually a website where I could have ordered them, but then it got to a point where I think
you needed the prescription.
Yeah.
I hate it. Me and Crystal were just talking about this. Like, bro, I know what my prescription is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a rare person where the glasses and the contacts are the same. Usually somebody has a little bit stronger glasses because they're further away from the eye than the contact. For me, it's 7 on the glasses, 7 in the eyes, done.
Mm-hmm.
But I went through hell to try to get the shit. It was wrong one time. They got it wrong again. And it's like, I could have just gone online and ordered, like, let me get some glasses that are 7 prescription and been chilling, or let me get the contacts I want that are 7.
It's also weird because it's like, I could go to Foot Locker.
Drugs, right?
I don't need a doctor to say I'm a size 10. If I bought like a size 7 pair of sneakers and my feet were hurting, that's on me.
Exactly. And the girl at LensCrafters, me and her were talking about this, and I was like, why can't I just order contacts? And she was like, I know, like, it's sort of fucking crazy. Like, they want to force you to go to the eye doctor every year or two. And now we're at the age where our eyes aren't getting worse. Like, wherever you are, it just kind of is. Well, as we get older, we might need, like, reading glasses or whatever. The close shit will get. But, like, we know what our shit is, right? Just let me order the shit. Like, it's so annoying. God damn, it's so annoying.
And that's why I'm kind of confused. And I think that, I mean, obviously, money comes into play. All these companies come into play because they always recommend the same shit to me. And every time I've gotten contacts, they're like, there's this new breathable sporty kind. And then they have a big flyer of it. And on the counter, there's some shit that says like, there's like an old guy playing baseball with his son. And it's like, he's wearing the sporty contacts when he play. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But the shits I had were fine. So don't push this new like contact brand on me. And it's just like, to your point, it doesn't make sense. And I'm also confused because I still take my pro pizza shit, but now there's a company called like Hims or something like that. They have like shampoo.
Yeah, but I think that's like more of a Viagra knockoff, right? I don't think it's a hair. Is it a hair thing? Oh no, you're right. Maybe that one is a hair. I'm thinking Blue Chew. I'm thinking Blue Chew is the like Viagra knockoff.
Oh yeah, I don't know Blue Chew shit, but like Hims is like they have shampoo,
hair
they have pills, and Jed was trying to do the Hims shit. He says they just have doctors on call that like you can buy the pills off their website or something like that, and like I forgot what it was, but like you're a dermatologist, but you can sign up to like approve the Hims shit or something. Like you don't need a prescription like you do for Propecia or something like that.
So it like, okay, so it depends, and it matters what exactly is in the Hims pills, because when you get Propecia, you're getting like the top of the level, top pharmaceutical grade finasteride. It might be that Hims, I don't know, and I haven't read the ingredients to be clear,
this sounds like
but it's possible. It's possible that they have like either a different ingredient, which is supposed to act like finasteride, or it's got like an amount of finasteride that's there, but lower than the amount that you'd get from
It could be some
Propecia
over-the-counter shit, yeah.
Yeah, so because there are things like, they sell, if you go to a gas station, they sell like dick pills at the gas station that make you hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but the difference between that, some shit called like rhino horn and Viagra is that the Viagra or Cialis is like pharmaceutical grade and you can get the right dosage. And if you get the over-the-counter dick pill, your head will be fucking throbbing with a headache and your asshole will fall out of your asshole. Yeah, so that might be the difference, is that it's not exactly the same, but it's similar. You know what I'm saying? So I would it's probably good to just keep taking the finasteride. I got to get back to taking mine too. I stopped taking it a minute ago.
Still looks fine, but I
don't want to risk it.
Yeah,
I don't want to risk it. Our buddy Brian, he's been taking it for already like 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
He also took Accutane for he was like
Accutane was
world
hot.
record. He was like world record amount of time taking Accutane, and I'm not even kidding.
Really?
He went from when he was 15 until when he was 31.
Damn.
Just so long. And I think it was more than anybody has ever gone. And I was like, damn, well, I hope everything works out. Because you never know with that shit.
Well, that one, they said there was side effects of depression and
yeah, but that's a little overstated, I think. It's, whatever, out of a group of 1,000 people take it, one commits suicide.
Yeah.
And they go, is it because of the Accutane? I don't know, but just put it as a warning thing on that. That's how they do that.
Yep.
But there's other problems. I know women are not allowed to take it if they're getting pregnant.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
One of those things. Yeah, because it'll be damaging to the fetus, but it's fine for adults. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was on Accutane and then finasteride. I got to get back on my shit, man. You're not going to lose your hair at all if you do that, right? If you stop taking it, it's I might start losing it.
I mean, I don't know if it's just if it's just all mental, because when I wasn't taking it, I would shower and I would see one hair, and I'm like, oh fuck, and then I take it and I think it's good, but I don't know. I'll talk to my dad and he's like, you got a full set of hair. You're good. And it's in the back of the hair is when you kind of have to worry, on some yarmulke shit. If your thing was if it was bald in the back, you have to worry more.
Yeah. It's the crown area.
Yeah.
And then that area are the ones people got to worry about.
Yeah.
But to be fair to us at our age, if we were going to really be badly bald, we would already be much more further progressed.
Yeah.
By the time our age comes around, it's your shit is going to be showing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. And there's that, what do people say? That, it's your dad on your mom's side that whatever his hair is your hair is going to be like. But I kind of already know that's bullshit, because my mom's dad was kind of bald. He kind of lost his shit OD, and my shit is way better than his.
Yeah, who knows?
So I don't know if that's true, because my dad had a pretty good head of hair. He thinned a little bit, but he never really went bald.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if it's just your dad or your mom or your mom's dad or your dad's dad or whatever, but I feel like that's just an old myth.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still taking them. I had a doctor. I feel like I went in high school and he told me to cut up the 5 milligram pill into 4 pieces. So I've just been doing that shit ever since. So I think that's how advice works. If you hear something good from somebody at a young age and you just do that shit forever, it could have been bad advice, but you're just doing it forever because that was the first person that ever told you it and it sounded good.
Yeah, it's just habit. You just stick to the habit and you're like, well, it's kind of works.
It's kind of like the contacts.
Yeah,
these shits were working. Why are you going to that's why it's almost more on the eye doctor, where it's just did you like your last shits? Okay, I'm going to just prescribe you those shits.
Yeah.
Why automatically say I'm gonna change you to some new shit? It's underwear. It's or something. If they were just oh, you really like these underwear? Let's put you in something different.
Yeah,
why?
That's true. And not to be an asshole, but also the eye doctor kind of spoke broken English. It wasn't we were communicating, but we weren't communicating at a high level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was a little bit and I say, I'm kind of a passive accepting dude. So I'm just going with the flow. Okay, you're the doctor. You say these shits might be good because they're thinner, might be more comfortable. All right, let's give it a shot. All right. The other thing is during the appointment, you know how they do the thing, how do you see better? Here. You know how they do that?
I hate that.
So she was doing that shit with me. And it was sort of fucked up because when she was like, okay, does this look better or does this look better? And I was like, well, the letter that I'm looking at looks better with this shit, but the other one makes the light switch look better.
She
Like
probably
in
was
one
like,
of
yo,
them,
just tell me one.
I know, but like it was real shit. Like I was
Yeah, I
explaining
guess.
shit I was actually seeing. Like one of
Yeah.
them, the letter looked perfect,
Uh-huh.
but then around the light switch, there was like a weird glare.
I could see you
So it's
doing
like
that shit.
the letter looks good, but there's a weird glare by the light switch. Is that better than the one that it's a little blurrier, but there's no weird glare by the light switch?
Yeah.
Like there was a literal trade off, and so I had to be like, I think it's this one. Like I'm not 100. I think it's this one.
They
And
always
like
give
there
you that
just wasn't.
reaffirming shit too, where they're just like, okay. But like I'm always just like, I don't know, B. And they're like, okay, cool. How
Yeah,
about this one? You're like, again, I don't know, A. And they're like, okay,
exactly.
great.
But that was the problem for me because like that's why they gave me that astigmatism shit,
Yeah.
the 1.25 shit. But in the contacts, it made me see way worse. I needed a 7 without any astigmatism in order to see good.
Yeah, it's weird.
And they made me feel like they gaslit me into making me feel like I needed the astigmatism. But I'm like, no, now I see out in the open, walking around in real life. That shit makes me see more blurry.
Yeah. Would you get LASIK or are you like having like glasses?
So that's the thing. That's actually a good question. We've been talking about it, right? Like we've been talking about it. I feel like I do want to do it eventually, but I also do feel like a little bit of a bitch because as soon as I get to the point where I'm like let me do it, my brain's like, do you really want to do that?
But
Because I know
what's the hesitation on it?
Here's the hesitation. Well, there's a couple things, but the main thing is, so I talked to a friend of mine from Virginia who got it, and he was saying there's 2 different ways to get it. There's the old school way where they like literally
shake
like
back
cut
your eye. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old school way where they do it. And if I remember correctly, the recovery on that is like very quick. But there's a trade-off in that as you get older, you can't do like the cataract surgery if you need it or whatever. Like there's some trade-off.
Cataract.
Right? And also, by the way,
like
it's you get it when you're older and you have trouble seeing.
okay,
and you just
right. Yeah.
So so there are trade-offs. You also have to like go for a consultation and they tell you whether or not you're even a candidate to get it because some people can't get it because of how their eyes are.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why, but some people can't get it. But anyway, so that's the old school way of doing it. And then this guy got the new school way of doing it, which is like, it's almost like they pour like acid in your eyes or something, and they fix it that way. And he was
like the dumbest shit. I mean, like no disrespect to that guy, but it's almost just like whoever discovered that shit of just like, all right, we're gonna pour acid in your eye and maybe they'll see better.
It's like, okay, let's give it a shot.
What?
It's like, bro, you do realize your eyes are like insanely important, right?
No.
So, but he said he was told beforehand, like, and his wife is a doctor, and so she knows stuff too, and so she was telling him like, this is the way to go because this is the newer technology. It's better. It works better. There's no downsides down the road. Whatever. So he was like, okay, I'll do that. And he said he got the surgery, and then the next 2 days, he said it felt like, what did he say? It felt like all day, every day, people were poking him in the eyes with 1,000 pins.
Oh my goodness!
So he got surgery
for how long? Like
for 2 days. For 2 days.
days.
He said he was in excruciating pain for like 2 days, and the doctor even gave him like Percocet at the time so that he would be okay.
Damn.
Like because he was in a lot of pain, and so he told me that story, and I was like, God damn. So now if I get it, I'm sort of leaning towards the old school way of doing it that didn't have the whatever the shit that was that they poured in his eyes that he said was horrible. And he said after those first 2 days, now he sees perfect and there's no problems whatsoever. And it's like, but I don't want to sit there for 2 days feeling like I'm being fucking tortured. I'm not going to sign up for that shit. And so I was thinking, if I get it, I'm going to get the old school way. But then I was thinking, like, is anything really wrong with how I live now? Like, no, I got my contacts. I wear them most of the time. Sometimes I wear my glasses. Like, there's no problem here. Why don't I just keep fucking wearing my contacts, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's my thing too. I mean, I feel like I would do LASIK, but also like I just haven't like looked into it fully to go and actually make an appointment and do it, and that shit's expensive too. But I'm to your point. I would do the old school way because I just feel like pouring acid on your eye sounds very like scary, and. But I don't know. I think I might come around on doing LASIK. I think I asked my friend who's an eye doctor, and he he told me that like it's not good, but again, he's biased because he's an eye doctor, so he wants people coming in and getting glasses and giving contacts, you know? So like his opinion on it is going to be no, they don't know what's going to happen to your eyes in 30 years, 40 years if you get LASIK, so it could potentially like be harmful. So like he hit me with all the downside shit, but then I also was like, well, you're just saying that because you're an eye doctor. But I don't know. I think I would do LASIK, but I would do the old school way where they kind of shave back the eye. But it's scary because it's like you're
It's
messing with
surgery.
the
Any
eyes.
sort of surgery feels
It's
like
like that,
fuck.
yeah.
This is
Like Joan
crazy.
Rivers went in to get like some basic Botox shit, and then she just straight died.
Damn, that's so wild to think about. That's so crazy. Yeah, like, but your eyes are not that bad though. So if you take your glasses off and you had to do some shit, you'd be able to do it, right?
I probably could, but it is. I like to I like being able to see like crystal like clear. Like when I go out on a run,
yeah, absolutely.
and I don't have to like put a pair of contacts in because I like wearing my glasses sometimes. When I go running without my contacts or glasses, I like, and there's a neighbor across the street or something, like I can maybe come off as a dick or something because I don't see them because they're like blurry and a little farther away. I want to be able to like, I don't know, I want to be able to see all this shit. So maybe I'll get LASIK down the road, but to your point,
That's how I
that.
feel. Yeah, that's how I feel like you feel.
But also like I can't trust people's opinions on shit because I got a vasectomy shit and people were like, yo, right after you're not gonna be able to walk and like you're done. And
it was nothing, right?
It was nothing. And then later that day or the next day, I was at a thing and I was like picking up boxes and moving. I was like uncomfortable, but people said it was gonna be like the worst feeling in the world. So like maybe that guy just has more of a pain thing for 2 days on his eyes, where some people is like, yeah, it was a little bit of like squinting. Like I can't.
Yeah, I do think pain tolerance is a part of it. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
I would go into it on like some like, let me just see how it is and not know what I'm be. Because if you're thinking 2 days, my eyes are gonna be messed up, and you're not for 2 days, then you're getting all nervous for nothing.
I also don't know how much damage I did to my eyes over the years too by wearing contacts all the time.
Why, you think it made it worse?
No, not that it made my vision worse, but like if you look closely at my eyes, you can see there are some like tiny red veins that are going towards the pupil. And like 2 years ago when I went to the eye doctor, what that previous one said to me was, that's your eyeball trying to get more air, your pupil trying to get more air. In order to do that, you have like a little, these little veins or arteries or whatever the fuck they are, they're going to your eye to deliver it more air. And so what she told me at the time is, you can still wear contacts, no problem, but just try to wear your glasses a little more often, right? Basically, she was like, don't really sleep in them as much, wear your eyeglasses a little more often, but you're good, right? But I wonder if, because of all the years of wearing the contacts, that if I go to get the consultation about the surgery, that they'll be like, you just can't do it because your eyes are like too damaged. Yeah, your eyes are too damaged in order to do it. But again, I feel fine how it is right now, as long as I have those contacts.
I don't know if I could picture you kind of without glasses, because you've been, ever since I think like when I first met you back in middle school, you've had glasses. Like I remember your yearbook photo, I think, has glasses. Like you've always worn glasses, from what I remember.
No, I mean, in modern times, you've definitely seen me more without glasses.
Without?
Yeah, without. Modern times, you've seen me more without. Like if you go back and look a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago on my YouTube channel,
no glasses.
I'd say 80% of the videos are no glasses. And usually 80 to 90% of the time, I'm not wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Right? But to your point, yes, I've always had horrible eyes. And I probably had your prescription, 2.25. I probably had that literally in like second grade or like third grade.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was a progression all the way to 7, and then it kind of stopped at 7. But, yeah, I mean, I feel fine with just the contacts and the glasses. Like, it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
So, as long as I have my fucking contacts, though. I was like, let me get 58 boxes of those contacts so I never have to go through this bullshit again.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you should just buy the whole... Yeah, buy the whole... or fly to Ireland and get those shits and come back.
I'm about to, man. That's how much I miss those shits.
Damn. Shout out to Ireland.
Shout out to Ireland. I also had a dentist appointment recently. And that shit was okay. So let me ask you what your thoughts are on this, because I kind of think my dentist is scamming me. I kind of think my dentist is scamming like everybody that comes in.
Could be. I've been to some bad dentists that definitely try to get people for extra shit. They try to get me with some shit one time at this one dentist I went to like one time. I was like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's not like, okay, so first of all, everybody I talk to who's gone to this dentist is like, yeah, they said I needed this, and this.
Yeah,
and it's like,
red flag already.
Do you really need all those things? Because as bad as my eyes are, Corin, my teeth are that much better than my eyes are.
Yeah.
In other words, literally my whole life, I've had one cavity. One.
Yeah.
I'm 36 years old. I've had one cavity. Right? Most people, when they hear that, are like, what?
No,
like, that's
I'm
crazy.
with you. I think me and you are very similar. I have strong like enamel on my teeth and shit like that too. So I'm always skeptical when a dentist will say, like, I know I have like swollen, like sometimes my gums get a little whatever, like whatever, but the regular cleaning shit. But once they start hitting me with some like, well, this could potentially start leading to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm 36 years here on this earth already, been to dentists countless amount of times. I'll take my chances making it to 60, 70 with what got me this far. So don't hit me with some like, if you keep doing blah, 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 your shit's going to like, no, fuck out of here.
So my dentist, so I went, it's the first time I've been in like 2 years, something like that.
That's how I am too. We're like the same.
Yeah, because I'm busy, bro. I got so much shit I'm doing.
They try to hit you with some like, oh, the last time you were here was like 3 years ago. And my shits are fine, right?
Yeah. Blow me. Stop fucking bringing that shit up. Like, who cares, right? So like, I'm there. Like you said, we're there, right? I went eventually.
Yep.
You know, like you'll get me maybe every 2 years. Like you'll get me, but you're gonna get me about that much.
Exactly.
Right? And so I went, and they did the whole cleaning shit, which is good. I like it when they clean it because even though my teeth are really, really strong, I do get a lot of plaque.
Yep, same.
And so they need to go in there and sort of like clean it out, go dinky.
Yep.
So, but anyway, the dentist is like showing me like, oh, you need 2 cavities filled. I was like, okay, all right, that's fine, right? And so then I went again. They did their whole cavity shit. By the way, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but for me, it was like fucking torture because. So they were filling the cavities. Now, and by the way, they were like, these are like nothing cavities. It should be quick. They should have never said those words to me because I was expecting it to be super quick. And it was like still like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had to keep my mouth open the whole fucking time. And I was like panicking because I was trying to like, so you know when you have to swallow? And I was trying to get the swallow, but I couldn't because I had like no saliva. And my mouth had to be open. And I couldn't like get the gulp.
Yep.
And so I felt like I was like choking to death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was horrible, bro. It was hard. I literally had to stop them at 1 second and be like, I need to swallow. I can't.
Does your dentist hit you with the like you gargle the water and spit it out, or do they hit you with the thing that's in your mouth full time now that they're like close your mouth and it's like
full time shit now.
That one to me, I'm a little skeptical on. There's no covering on that shit. So whatever they clean it with has to be like some next level shit because they're putting that same thing in people like everybody's mouth.
I wonder if they're like replaceable that you can throw out. I don't think so. Put it back on. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
well, that one doesn't look replaceable, but they changed. They used to be like
right, just gargles.
Yeah, sit up, spit into the sink, and then they invented that
little breaks in between. It was nice. Yeah, that was nicer.
I like that. But to your point, that other one is like you can't get a good gulp because that thing is suctioning the whole time.
It's so bad, bro. I was panicking. I felt like I was choking and dying. And the dentist had to tell me like, look, you're good. It might feel like your body's good. Like even if you don't swallow, you're fine. If you only get a semi-swallow, you're fine. Like he was explaining to me like the science of it. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. It's in my head. Like let me.
And I don't feel fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel good. Like, I'm just starting to get a fucking I've never had a panic attack in my life. I'm starting to get a fucking panic attack because I can't fucking breathe. Feels like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so after they do, that was a horrible experience, but they filled the cavities, right? And then one of the women who works there was like, okay, so you get a lot of plaque buildup, so we're going to set you up for an appointment in 4 months. I was like,
for what?
I ain't fucking coming back here in 4 months. Bitch, what are you talking about? I was oh, you know, we got the kids, we got work, we got a lot of stuff going on. It's moving heaven and earth for me to go anywhere, so let me get back to you on that.
Yeah.
And I haven't fucking called since, but like that's on. And then our daughter, she came. She had an issue with her teeth. It was like she just had a cavity filled. And then she goes back in. They're like, oh, you need a root canal. You just did you just did the cavity on the same tooth. Now you're saying you need a root canal? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And everybody who goes there
Says that they try to hit him with some shit.
With some shit of like, you need this, 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 and this. Like, everybody who goes there, it's like, you need 17 things. And it's like, I've been to the dentist my whole life for fucking 36 years. I've never needed anything but one cavity.
Yeah.
And now you're hitting me with all the shit. I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe you.
Yep.
I don't even think I need those original shits you just tried to fill.
Yep. I agree with you because when we first moved out to Illinois, we had a pretty good dentist. And then when we lived in our apartment, then we moved to our house, which was like a couple towns over. Went to this new spot one time. The first time, the dude was like, yeah, you need kind of this thing. Like, I don't remember what the hell it was called. It was like some shit. And like, he was like, his assistant came in with a pamphlet. And one, it's kind of messed up because they put you on the spot, like right there in the chair to make a decision on something that's going to cost $500 to $1,000 for your teeth that you don't know. And then if you try to hit them with like well, how much does that cost? They're like, oh, I don't know. You got to call your insurance, blah, blah, blah. They'll tell you like, I'm like, what? For like, I actually agreed to do one of the shits there. And it was like $600 for some shit that I've never heard before. And then after I was like talking to Molly, I was like, I don't even think I needed that thing. And then I went to another dentist who we really liked. And she was like, you didn't need any of that. So I think there's like baseline shit that like you can always do on your teeth that like some dentists will try and like hit you with. And I got at one of the spots, but yeah, I think it's like a mechanic. I mean, like they're going to tell, there's always probably going to be something on your car that you could fix. It's like the guy will come out. He came out with my air filter one time when I was getting like my oil changed. And he was like, this is what it looks like. And it was like, it was a little dirty. And I was like, nah, you don't got to change that shit. Put it back. It's like my teeth. Like, it was like my teeth are still, I could still bite into food. I could still eat shit, taste it. Like, don't give me the $500 shit because it's fine. I brush them every night. Like, I know what I'm doing. So
yeah,
there's definitely bad dentists. There's definitely good dentists. Like, if you get a bad one, they're going to try and scam you out of everything.
They tried to tell Crystal, they were like, oh, you have a little bit of gum recession. If you want, we could do like a gum graft or some shit. And she brought it up to me and I was like, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, your gums are fine. Your teeth, like, everything's fine. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
It's like they're just trying to nickel and dime you on some shit. And just bill more shit to the insurance company, which, by the way, side rant, my insurance doesn't cover eye shit, teeth shit. Like, nobody's insurance covers all those things.
No.
Like, everybody's insurance is like, if you're having a heart attack, maybe we'll pay for it. Nobody's shit is like, you want to get the elective shit at the dentist? You want to get the fucking eye doc? Like, none of that shit is like that.
No. And if someone's good in one category, I think for Molly, she's like, yeah, the kids and I am on Corin's health shit, but he's on my dental shit. Like, no one has a perfect plan. Like, to your point, someone's going to have something on point. The other person's going to have the other thing on point. Like, why can't there just be one thing that everybody's shit is on point?
This is why we all love Bernie Sanders. Bernie was like, let's do universal health care and let's cover everything for everybody. He even tries to say for Medicare, he's like, why the fuck shouldn't it cover dental shit and eye shit? Like, what are we, stupid? Why do the eyes and the teeth not count as part of your body?
Yeah.
Like, they're on your body. Like, what? Since you see out of one and chew with the other, so that doesn't count. Like, why the fuck would that not count? So I can go and get some shit where you take my blood pressure or whatever, but I can't get shit for my teeth or my eyes? Like, what do we... Like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, and everybody just accepts it. Like, oh yeah, that doesn't count as part of your body. Like, what?
I'm the same as you, where literally, come to think of it now, every time I leave the dentist that one time, like, because I'm the same. They'll be like, oh, you haven't been here for like 3 years. I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. But like you were saying, I'm like, but bitch, I'm here now. So like, fix whatever's going on. But every time I leave, they're like, all right, so we'll see you again in like 6 months. And then it always ends up where I'm not back in that shit until like another 2-3 years. Like, after 6 months, I'll like, they'll call me, or I'll like reschedule my appointment, or I'll be like, oh, I actually have something going on that day. For like 2 years, I'll do that. Well, I don't know if everybody else is good where they're like there every 6 months.
you're making a great point. Look, you know what to me is the peak of responsibility? Here's the best anybody could be at any of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the doctor once a year. I go to the dentist once a year. All the shit, just once a year, I'll knock it out. That is respectable as fuck, and that's a reasonable time frame. If you try to hit me with the 4-month shit they try to hit me with, or some 6-month shit they try to hit me with, go fuck yourself. Like, you know that I have to do shit in life. You know we got 3 kids. You know that, like, we have shows, we have jobs that
and
we do.
I don't know what I'm doing in 6 months where they're like, how's Thursday, July 28th at 4:00?
Like, no. The answer is no, because I probably got to pick the kids up from school or take the kids to a soccer game or do my own show or prep, or how about I just want to fucking lay in my bed and watch some TV and not have to worry about some dumb bullshit that you're trying to make me do. Like, let me just chill. Why can't I just chill? Just let me chill.
And also, when yes, you need physicals, you got to get checked. But when I go to the doctor and get a physical, like when my job's like, you got to get a physical for work, you can get like, money back, whatever. A physical at a doctor should be a little bit more intense than like him just putting the shit up to your chest, up to your back. Like, hey, let me pound your knee. Like a physical, low key in America. If I was like president, a physical would be like
blood work.
Blood work, yes, but it would be like an NFL combine. Like, run, run down the block, come back. Like lift maybe 100 pounds. Do 10 push-ups. Like, that's a physical. When I go to the doctor after 2 years, the physical they give me, he doesn't know what the hell is going on inside my body.
Bro, you need to, like, you absolutely have to ask for the right things when you go to the doctor, or you get nothing. So, like, I know in my family, everybody's got high cholesterol, right? Like, all the old people have heart disease, or they're on 3 different pills for cholesterol and blood pressure or whatever, right? So just now, because I'm 36 now, I was like, all right, it might actually be time to do something about this shit. So I went to the doctor recently, and when I went in, and this is to your point about how when you go for a physical, they'll just be like,
basic shit,
hold the shit up to your chest and put the thing on to get your blood pressure, and then they just like, you're okay, and it's like, what? So I went in and I was like, look, I know heart disease runs in my family, high cholesterol runs in my family, so you got to just do whatever you got to do to figure out what's going on with that shit. And I had to you have to ask that.
I know.
And then when you ask that, they're like, okay, then we'll run the blood work, we'll do this, we'll do that. And they did the EKG, they did the blood work, and then they came back and they were like, yeah, your cholesterol is like really high. So it's like, okay, and then they gave me the prescription for the pill for it, the statin that like lowers your cholesterol.
Yeah.
But if I didn't go in asking for that shit specifically, I'd be walking around right now with preposterously high levels of cholesterol, and it would be super unhealthy. But like, most people don't know, hey, this is a problem that runs in my family. Like, let me get that shit checked out and ask specifically for it, and then get the medicine for it.
Yep.
And just the fact that I knew that meant I was able to jump through the hoops. But there shouldn't be any fucking hoops. To your point, if you go for a physical, absolutely, every physical should have blood work with it.
Yep.
But the blood work, like you said, they hit you with a bill for like $700.
Yeah, blood work's OD.
Like, who has fucking $700 sitting around?
Yeah.
Waiting for, like, nobody has fucking $700 sitting around.
Yep.
Where they could just pay for that shit for some shit so they could try to take care of a problem that would manifest 12 years down the road in fucking heart disease. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's horrible, man. It's horrible, but I'm happy I went, because you know what's crazy, man? So I started taking the pill for my high cholesterol.
Oh, so you actually, I think I have high cholesterol too, but I also told Molly, I was just like, yeah, I don't know how to fix, like, I'm still like, what?
So I would say it depends how high your shit is what I would say, first of all. I highly doubt you were as high as me. Like, my cholesterol's like my eyes. Like, it's not good, right?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So anyway, I went and I got the pill. Bro, tell me how it literally made me feel better immediately. Like, I didn't even know I was feeling bad, but then I started taking it and I was like, damn, I feel good.
That's awesome.
It was like once or twice that we were in DC and I left the pills in Virginia or whatever. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot my pills. Whatever, I'll get them tomorrow, right? But I would miss like a day or two. And when that happened, I would start feeling like shit.
Is it just like cloudy? Like, is it just like groggy?
Just like sluggish.
Yeah.
Just like sluggish and lazy and like sort of angry and just not good. Like, just feeling bad.
Yeah.
Right? And then I would take my medicine and I'd be like, I feel fucking great now. So it actually like, and I don't think I've never read what other people have said about this, but I feel like it's not a common thing where you take a cholesterol medication and you're like, I feel great now. But like that shit literally had that effect on me. And it made me realize like, damn, how high was my shit? Like, was my shit so high that like I was flirting with a fucking heart attack walking around?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But so do you have to take that pill indefinitely forever, or is that like you could change your diet where like this shit'll cancel out the pill?
For me, it runs in my family. Even if I have a perfect diet, I'm still going to have cholesterol that's too high.
Oh, for real?
And probably significantly too high.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It's just something about, I don't know if it's like in a literal gene or whatever, but we have high cholesterol in my family, and it's just like ironclad.
Oh, damn.
Like my shit, when my doctor saw the numbers, she was like, yes, I'm prescribing you it, and I'm giving you this much. Right?
Oh, wow.
Like, it was not even a question. It was like, go fill that shit. But it fucking works, bro. Like I feel good on it, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I had high cholesterol too, but they also hit me with some like, I think I had to
diet and exercise.
Well, I don't know. I think I had to like download an app to see like the numbers that I had, and I just never like. I didn't know my login, and I think Molly knew it, but like she didn't check it or something. But then I think they left me a voicemail and were like, "Yeah, here, like you got high cholesterol or something like they told me." But she also was just like, "You could see more detail on the app," and I was like, I don't know how to. I don't know how to get into the app.
Like, fuck the app, bro. They did that to me too.
But I also was like, on the app could be OD. It could be like, yo, you're about to die, and I just haven't logged in to check that shit.
Yeah, you got to tell. If you tell me what the number is, then I'll give you a sense of how bad
I'll
it
check.
Is.
I don't know how to log into the app. I swear to God, but like, I'll check her voicemail because I think she hit me with some like a, yeah. So as you can see, the cholesterol was a little high, so just monitor that and eat a little healthier or something.
Yeah, but a little high, you're fine. If they should say, "Oh, it's a little high,"
yeah, I don't think it was anything like kind of crazy.
No, the word "little" that goes a long way right there.
Yeah,
because they didn't tell me my shit is a little high. They
she was like, definitely like,
"Here's
I'm prescribing you this shit.
Here are the pills. Go fill those shits." Yeah, my sister said when my sister went last year, she got on them a little before me.
Mm-hmm.
They literally said to her, the doctor was like, "Here's your prescription. Run to the pharmacy."
Oh wow.
Yeah, and mine was higher than hers.
Damn.
So. Yeah.
Well, at least they caught it.
Well, it is, bro.
That's what like kind of I want to go to the doctor, like, because I don't want to have cancer or some shit like that. But like, I want to be able. I don't know if they can diagnose that through blood, but I want my physical to be like, oh, we found something serious. I feel like that'll never happen at any of my physicals.
I mean, it depends like what kind of test you do, but a blood test tells a lot.
It should
like,
tell
it would
a lot of it.
Tell
okay.
you a lot. Yeah. If anything is wrong with you, there would be some sign of it in your blood.
Okay.
There'd be something in your blood that's like, this number's not right.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, but that's like every physical should have that, and like none of them do.
Yeah.
None of them.
She hit me with one. It was like 8:00 in the morning. She was like, "Yep, I'm gonna take your blood." And then after I thought I was all done, she was like, "And then you got to go to the bathroom and go pee." I was like, "I don't have to pee though."
Yeah, they didn't make me piss in a cup this time.
Yeah, she made me pee in a cup, and I had to stand over there with my dong out, like, and it, like I got like a tinkle, and then I like brought it back into her, and she was like, that's enough.
Oh man,
that was tough.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, I got all that bullshit done. But I'm supposed to like technically go for an appointment with a cardiologist next, which is like actual heart doctor.
Oh really?
But I haven't gotten around. I figured like I got my pills now, like I'm chilling, you know. But eventually, I will get around to going to the cardiologist too to see, because they could do tests where they could tell you other like risk factors and shit for the future. Like if you will down the road need X, Y, or Z, they'll be able to tell you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they got some good. My doctor was explaining to me like they got really good as far as like heart health goes. They got really good shit now for it because it's so common.
Yeah,
that they were able to get like diagnostics for it that are like next level. So I was like, yeah, I'll try all those shits. But of course, it's going to be fucking expensive too, which is like fuck that. This shit should all be free.
And it's setting up another appointment and like having to meet with a new person and do that whole shit.
Yeah, no, that's right, and that's the part I don't want to do. So anyway, I finished 90% of my appointment bullshit I got done, which that makes my mom happy.
Well,
my
hopefully, are you optimistic the contacts are going to be right, or you think they're going to like they legit were like we're ordering the shits that you had, or they're like we're going to see if we could get those exact ones?
They allegedly they ordered the exact ones.
Okay.
The exact box, the exact numbers. So we should be good now.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of What she said to me though was like, they're not giving me any like, oh, it'll arrive in 2 to 4 days or 2 to 5 days or 5 to 10 days. They didn't have any of that information. So we're on day like 3 or 4 now, and I'm a little bit like, bro, I need them to call. Like,
and
I'm
it's
desperate.
Walmart. That's why I was kind of a little sus, because like Walmart does have they have like the eyeglass station spots in the front.
Right, that's what I went to.
They got like a hair salon over there. It was like the one by me, at least in Illinois, it was like some 90-year-old lady cutting hair. I don't know if is it a bad, like, are you a bad eye doctor if you're working at Walmart, or is it like you're still a good eye doctor and that's just where you're located?
You're still a good eye doctor, but I didn't need to go to the eye doctor. I needed to go to the woman who worked at like the lens store, the optical store.
Yeah, just to order the contacts.
Right. And honestly, that woman was the most helpful of all the people that I've talked to about my eyes. Because she was trying to help me figure it out, like, which are the contacts, let's get this right. And then she was like, I will call the eye doctor for you and get it sorted out, whatever. And like, she did all that shit, but they still needed like something from me. Like the eye doctor still had to call me to be like, is this the one you are approving? Is this the one you want? Yada, yada. And I was like, yes. So, but she was, the woman at the Walmart was actually very, very helpful.
Okay.
And very nice about it.
She's like, I spoke to the Prime Minister of Ireland. We're going to make an exception and get you the contacts. He's going to fly them in himself.
I got your contacts, Kyle. They're very good. We make good Irish contacts. I hear you like our contacts.
Hi, Kyle. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, I hope you get those shits.
No, I know. I'm fingers crossed, man.
Damn.
Before we wrap up, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on the election? Like, how you feeling about the election?
I was going to ask you this.
Tell you right now.
I hate to say this, but I think Trump's going to win. Kind of like.
What are your percentages? Give me your percentages.
Like, I think he's going to win. Like
what? Like 60% chance he wins, or like 80%? Like, what are you at in terms of the number?
Today I felt very strongly that he was going to kind of win in a landslide, like 70-75% that he was going to win.
Whoa.
And I just and I was going to ask you this because we kind of spoke about it last week. I don't think I follow Elon Musk on Twitter. Maybe I do. But all of the stuff I see, and I don't know if it's getting fed to me, is more right wing, like leaning. And people probably be like, oh, where you clicking on videos of like Trump or whatever. I think I'm getting fed more stuff like that's.
You definitely are.
I am, right?
You definitely are. That's what happened since Elon took over Twitter.
Yeah.
He's become like super pro-Trump.
Yeah.
And the algorithms are rigged in favor of right-wing slop.
They are,
and so
right?
that's what gets super served to you. And so now, and I see it all the time too. I always get these garbage-ass right-wing. And if you think about it, I should be the type of feed that never gets anything from the right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I get super served total right-wing garbage. But this is actually part of the problem for Trump, though, is that I think the right has sort of gaslit themselves into thinking they're more popular than they are.
Really?
Because they've rigged the algorithms on Twitter. And I think that's going to bite them in the ass, because this is what happened in 2022 in the midterms. Like, they started getting high on their own supply a little bit, and they thought they were going to have a red wave. And then they didn't. And they didn't because they were too much in their own world, and they thought they were like running these ads attacking trans people and thinking that they were freaking it with that.
Yeah.
And then they got destroyed. And they got destroyed because abortion got overturned at the Supreme Court. You still had 51% of the Republicans who were running were still denying the 2020 election. And like those two issues by themselves, like people are sort of like, fuck you, get over it and stop. Right. And like, so I think that Twitter is not a good like barometer of.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Happen. Yeah. It's not like that right wing shit is getting put in front of you because it's like indicative of where the country's at. It's like that's getting put in front of you because that's what Elon wants everybody to see.
Yeah.
Because Elon is 24/7 sucking off Trump on the timeline and going to his fucking rallies and shit.
That's true.
You know?
I will also say, though, and I said this last week, too, every state I'm in, every time I'm driving somewhere, it's Trump OD. And it's like, you can't deny some of his, like, rallies where people are coming out OD for him. Like they try to say his crowd sizes are like lower, but from what I see, they look insane. And like, there's just videos I watch. Like there was a video I was watching of this is Wisconsin. I don't know if Wisconsin's blue or red, but like it was outside of Lambeau Field, and it was showing like houses leading how there's like regular houses right next to a football stadium, and they were doing like a pan of it, and like 3 houses in a row had Trump, van signs, and like I just everywhere I go, and maybe with the area where I live in is a lot of Trump signs too. I'm just worried because it was the same thing when he was going up against Hillary. I was like, oh, Hillary's got it in the bag. I'm gonna go to sleep. She's gonna win. I'm kind of nervous, low key, that like I don't want him to win, because I think if he wins, I think like the whole world's going to shit already. I think if he wins, it's going to be like even worse 4 more years. But I'm very scared that I think he's going to win in kind of like a landslide, and I hope not.
See, I'm not sure I agree, because in 2016, I felt like, yes, he said a lot of crazy shit. He was talking about, like the Muslim ban and the Mexicans are rapists and criminals, and I assume some are good people. Like, he said a lot of crazy shit back in 2016. But he also tempered that with a lot of like genuinely populist rhetoric, where he would like talk about jobs a lot and talk about wages and say that Hillary and Bill Clinton and the Democrats outsourced your jobs and I'm going to protect your jobs. And he would talk about protecting Social Security. Like there was, and he would say anti-corruption things, even though he's just as corrupt as the rest of them, if not more corrupt. But he would say like, I'm self-funding my campaign. Yeah. I don't need these big donors and their money. They got their little puppets. I'm not a puppet, not a puppet. They're puppets. And like, so he had like a populist kind of good campaign. I remember his closing ad back in 2016 was really good. Like it was really like, we're going to take it to the establishment, and we're going to represent the like, what do you say, silent man and woman or something like that. It was like, the people who've been left behind, yada yada, that sort of shit, right? And this time, like, he sort of lost a step. Like the shit he says now, like, and you made this point a long time ago, and I think you're right about it. At the time I disagreed with you, but now I agree with you about it. You always say like, he wants the controversy. Like he knows when he says some shit, there's going to be backlash. That's what he wants. And I was on the team of like, no, I think he really means it. Like the shit he says, and like people just get angry about it, but he actually means it. And you were like, no, he wants the controversy. And like, you were right, but he's doing that now. But he's doing it in like all the wrong ways. Like he's not triggering people to yell at him over some dumb bullshit. He's triggering people to yell at him because he's like literally spreading Nazi lies about Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs shit. When that's not fucking true. Yeah. Right? He just said the other day he's going to invoke some law from 1798 to fucking just like kick out all the immigrants. Some like, what was it called? Like the Illegal Alien Act or Alien Obstruction Act or something. It was literally the law that was used to do like Japanese internment. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to invoke that law. Yeah, I'm going to do, we're going to do the biggest deportation the country's ever seen. Like
where even his base is like.
The shit he's leaning into is like, weird. You sound like psychotic. Yeah, like you're not, there's nothing about jobs. There's nothing about wages. There's nothing about like improving people's lives. It's just anger and bitter resentment, and I won in 2020, and Kamala's horrible, and we're gonna kick all the immigrants out of the country. We're gonna deport them all, and it's just like there's no charm to it anymore. It's just like it's just gross. And remember, this is the first election where he's on the ticket since January 6th, and since he tried to overthrow the 2020 election. Yeah, and if the midterms were any indication, then people are just not like. That's a line that they don't want you to cross. They don't want you to be anti-abortion, and they don't want you to try to overturn the fucking election and keep talking about how you think you won in 2020 when everybody knows you didn't, right? So I feel like we might be sort of selling Americans a little short on this. Like even the way that they're doing the polling, Crystal brought this up, that even the way that they're doing the polling, the way that they're sampling the people, it's like self-reported on who you voted for last time. And apparently that has like a right-leaning bias to it, because the model you're using is not accommodating for, you got all these new voters who are registering to vote, and a lot of them are black women who are registering to vote, and like There's a lot of demographics that are fired up. There's this big anti-Trump coalition. And like, I don't know if the pollsters are really accounting for that well. So if you just look at the averages of the polls right now, Kamala's up like 2 or 3, right? And it might be the case that just like in 2022, there's another 3% that are not accounted for. They're going to come out big against Trump, right? I can't see. It's hard for me to imagine. I wouldn't be surprised by anything other than Trump's numbers being higher than what they're showing in the polls, right? So I could see a Kamala landslide. I could see Kamala eking out a win, or I could see Trump eking out a win. I cannot imagine a Trump landslide.
Really?
I can't see it.
See,
I just don't see it.
The only thing, and maybe, again, this is kind of maybe because of the stuff that I'm getting fed on Twitter, like, but like this week in general, like starting with the 60 Minutes interview, and then also like people, there's the big talk now of like, well, she's the vice president, so why hasn't she done anything? If she's saying like, let's turn the chapter, like is her line at her speech or something like that. Well, it's like you are the chapter. So what are you turning? If you can make a, you know, like you're basically have a bat line into like Biden right now to actually do stuff. Why aren't you doing it? Is a big thing that people are saying right now. Like I don't know. I don't know if the clips I'm getting fed of her, like her not answering questions well, and like I think I don't know. I maybe I'm just seeing that this is a bad week, but it just doesn't seem. He seems to be a master of like, you ask me a question and I'll finagle it to answer it how I want to answer it. Whereas she sometimes hits you with some shit that doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know if they split up her clip on Colbert, where he asked her. Did you see that clip? He asked her like, "Hey, what are you going to do for the future?" And she just answered it like it sounded horrible. But again, I don't know. I just think what I've seen recently from her hasn't been great. And I also think that there's a lot of, maybe it was like Hassan Piker or something recently that said like kids 30 and under like are all going to be voting for Trump. I don't know. I'm preparing myself for like, for him winning again, which is a scary thought because I don't see a lot of like, I don't see a lot of rah people getting behind her, like fully supporting her the way that they do for Trump.
So I think you're right about the reaction to her because she came out of the gates super hot.
Yeah.
Like when she came out of the gates, everybody was kind of excited because it's like we don't have Joe Biden anymore. He's 1,000 years old. We don't want to deal with him anymore. Thank God it's somebody else. And then she picked Tim Walz for VP, and everybody was excited because he's fucking awesome and he did great in Minnesota. And their campaign early on was on fire because they were running the right way. They were like, Tim Walz had that line about how they're weird, and then everybody kept running with, they are fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're weird. It's true. And then they had the whole, like, we're not going back thing, which is a good line. That's a good line. And they were really leaning heavily into freedom and patriotism, and they kind of stole that from the Republicans who usually parrot those things.
Yep.
Everything was just firing on all cylinders, and it was great. But then the Biden people came in because Kamala had a meeting with the Biden people, the ones who were, like, running Biden's campaign. And they told her in the first meeting, stop doing the we're not going back shit and stop doing the weird shit because it's too negative. That's what they told her. And so she stopped doing it.
Ugh.
And then ever since then, she's been doing the Hillary strategy, which is I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to, like, she's doing events with Liz Cheney and talking about how she's proud to have Dick Cheney's endorsement. And when she was asked on a whole bunch of shows, how would you be different from Biden? She whiffed the question multiple times.
Yeah.
And so they definitely, like, they're being way too cautious. And they're being way too conservative in their strategy. They need to ride that original energy that they had. So I think all of that is true. Where I think I disagree with you is, I got to be honest, at the end of the day, it might not even matter. Because we might be at the point now where you can run some rusty, moldy-ass ham sandwich against Trump, and the rusty, dusty, moldy-ass ham sandwich would get like 52% of the vote and would win 300 electoral college votes, and it would be a wrap, you know. And I hope that's where we are now, because look, it's just like he's so unhinged. Like he's just so unhinged.
I know he's unhinged, but like you drive around too. You can't front that like there's insane amount of like Trump people putting up, you know, banners and shit on their lawn. Like I barely see any Harris stuff, and maybe because she came late to the
So
game, but like even Biden didn't have as much like I literally drive around everywhere and I'm like, another Trump shit, another Trump shit, like another Trump shit. Like it's crazy how people rock with him.
so me and Krista live in like a very conservative county.
Mhm.
So yeah, for us it's like 7-3. For every 7 Trump signs you see 3
Yeah.
Kamala signs. Like that's roughly where we are. But again, man, like the people who are still riding with him, they're I gotta be honest, they're like in a fucking cult at this point. You
I
know,
hope,
this
yeah.
is not like, oh, this is some mass movement that has a majority of people. Like, no, you guys are fucking crazy. You just are. And I think Americans are starting to get that, and they're starting to see that, and they just want to like turn the page, right?
I
Just
hope.
turn the page. Just be done with this shit.
I'm gonna
But,
vote
you
for
know,
her. I'll vote for Kamala, but I also like I, I don't know if she'll be a great president. Like I'm kind of shook that like she knows what to do like once she's there, you know, unless like she hires
well,
the
it's
right people
again,
to
it's like
like
you're comparing her to the alternative, though, right?
yeah.
Like, and the point you made earlier about like people are attacking her, like, oh, if you're turning the page, well, you are the page. Like, what are you talking about? It's like the vice president doesn't have that much power,
Uh-huh.
right? Yes, Biden's the president, and she's the VP, and in theory, Biden should take her advice sometimes.
But they don't. Yeah.
But yeah, no, not at all. And you know what? Trump was president for 4 fucking years.
That's true.
He had more direct control of shit than Kamala ever fucking did.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the other thing is like, the thing about Trump in 2016 is it felt like, oh, there's a chance he'll fight back against the establishment and genuinely help people or whatever. He fucking didn't. And so I think people know, like, oh, you sound like an outsider or whatever, but you're not. When you were in there, you were just fucking bullshit. Like every other president, you were George W. Bush on steroids. You did a big tax cut for the rich and for corporations. You deregulated Wall Street. Like, you're the same old bullshit. The only difference is you have mean tweets with your same old regular bullshit, right? And so I think people, for all of Kamala's flaws, and she has so many, but you look at her and you're like, it's like standard milquetoast corporate centrist liberal versus fucking full-blown fascist at this point.
Yeah.
Right? Like my Trump sympathy now is at literally 0. My Trump supporter sympathy is at literally 0.
Same.
These are not the same people in 2016 where I would actually make an argument, bro, hear them out. Maybe the reason they're supporting Trump is not because of the bigotry. Maybe they're supporting him because of some economic shit or whatever. This is not those days anymore. Like the people who are still with him, it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I'm willing to say that. I'm willing to like fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how there's any. Yeah. I agree with that. I found it kind of wild because I think he was at Coachella or something. And I think he's like the Pope now. Does he do his speeches behind like glass barricades or something?
Wouldn't you if they tried to assassinate
you? But it's wild that like this is a guy that's like supposed to be. It's just a wild scene that like he's behind this glass now. You know, like the Pope, I get it, is a sacred guy, but like the president's supposed to be liked. I don't know. Just seeing that was like kind of wild for me.
Yeah, his shit is so weird now. There's a video, I was just seeing this before we started doing the podcast. There's a video of him at some event, and he's like telling them to play some opera music, and they start playing it, and he starts dancing on stage, and everybody's like waiting for him to talk more and say shit, but he's just like dancing. And it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is even going on with this dude anymore, man?
Did you see
the... Go ahead.
DeSantis's thing, like, and they were throwing the debris behind his like podium.
No, I didn't see this.
Yeah, he like supposedly was like giving a speech, and there was like workers that were like throwing and setting up debris behind his like podium to show like. I'm just fascinated by all this stuff. I'm like the one that I'm kind of like it just intrigued in knowing what happens is like Mayor Adams in New York.
Oh, he's going down.
But like, when is there going to be a decision on that? Like, will he actually like? Because he's still the mayor right now, right? Or did he? Is someone else acting? I think.
He's still the mayor. I don't know what's going to happen with him in terms of holding his job. I think the governor has the ability, if necessary, to axe him. There's some weird provision that allows the governor to be like, you're gone and we're going to have a new election or something like that. Uh-huh. So I don't know if Kathy Hochul is going to invoke that because I don't know the kind of relationship Hochul and Adams have. But my guess is in terms of like what's going to happen with Adams particularly, I think he's cooked, bro. Like he's got federal charges.
Yeah.
You don't just beat federal charges. Like, it was the same thing. You know, Trump, he's got all these federal charges. He went down on the New York state criminal charge with like the hush money payment and the fraud related to that. He lost that case. He's going to lose the fucking Jack Smith cases too. Like, if the feds come after you, they have a conviction rate of like over 90%.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
They don't fuck around.
Yeah.
By the time they're indicting you, they already got all their ducks in a row and they got all the evidence they need, and they're going to drag your ass to court and fucking ruin you. And it seems like he was comically corrupt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why
hilariously corrupt.
Yeah, that's why it seems like such a bizarre one where it's like he's still out there like promoting the Yankees and the Mets and like giving press conferences and talking about the Knicks and acting like there's not this major shit going on. Where I was like, when is the decision going to come down on this guy going to prison or something? So that's one that I was like kind of.
And that's honestly, that's the Trumpification of politics, because what it used to be when we were growing up, like in the 90s, if there was some scandal with some politician, they would resign in disgrace and be like, I've let you guys down, whatever. What Trump taught people is just fucking bull in a china shop. Just keep plowing ahead like there's not even any charges against you and just act like everything's fine. And then people just be like, I guess everything's fine. He's acting like everything's fine, right? And that's what Adams is doing.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump has brought to our politics. This idea that, like, nothing I do matters. It can't be bad. It can't be wrong because I'm me. So I do whatever I want and everybody else can fuck off. And that's why he's doing all the shit you said, like promoting all the sports teams and shit. He's like, I'm the mayor of New York, bitch. Suck my nuts. Like, that's the idea, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. But you asked me, and honestly, I know it doesn't sound great, but like, just from what I see, the optics of this shit, and again, maybe I need to get off Twitter and like it's just the area I live, but it seems, I know like landslide Trump wasn't in one of your options as a possible result, but this shit scares me, man. Like I think, I don't think people rock with Kamala like that.
Well, again, he can win, but it wouldn't be a landslide. Like, so think about it. With Hillary won by 3 million votes, the popular vote. Biden won by 7 million votes, the popular vote. It's basically a foregone conclusion that Kamala's going to win the popular vote. That's going to happen.
Hope so.
But the question is, how does it break down electoral college-wise?
Like, I don't think there's no shot he wins Florida. Like, I'm sure you can drive through all of Florida and find every person rocking with Trump.
Oh, Trump is probably going to win Florida. Yeah, Trump is probably going to win Florida. But she's more competitive there than people expected.
Really?
There were some polls that had her down 2 points.
Okay.
By the way, Ted Cruz, there was a recent Republican internal poll that got leaked.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz is only up 1 point on the Democrat in Texas for the Senate.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be fucking phenomenal, right? And that's the other thing is, like, as close as the race is with Kamala and Trump, the down ballot races are not even remotely close.
Okay.
The Democrats are crushing the Republicans.
All right. That makes me feel better. I mean, you're obviously so much closer to this shit than I am, but I'm just going on pure, like, seeing one thing and speculating off of it. So that evens me out a little bit more, but I don't know. It worries me on the presidential shit. But it also, I wanted to ask you, like, we could talk about this another time, but like running for mayor seems like some shit that anybody and their mother can do. I saw like Marshawn Lynch was like going to run for mayor in Oakland, and it made me think like, what are the qualifications to become a fucking mayor? I feel like anybody could just do that shit.
I mean, anybody can do it, but usually, especially if you're like a big city like New York City, you need to have like political connections and donor connections. I mean, that's really the qualification.
Yeah.
Anybody on paper can do it, but really the only people that have a decent chance at doing it is they have a war chest of a lot of money, and the reason they do is because they're connected to the business community and they got all this money from all these wealthy people. So that's really the thing. Usually also for mayor, yeah, I guess you could just jump right into running for mayor and have a decent chance at it, but I think usually people who run for any position started at some lower position that they got elected for, some state council or whatever the fuck, and then they kind of worked their way up and got their name out there a little bit. But yeah, for mayor of a big city, I mean, anybody can run, but you got to have some connections. And then obviously it helps, to also have friends in the media and people who can pump you out there and shit like that. So that's really the only connection.
Damn, if Ted Cruz loses, that would be amazing.
Oh, that would be the best fucking thing ever.
Is Bernie still running again? Or is Bernie... Like,
I'm not sure when he's up for re-election.
oh, he
again.
might.
Is he up
He's
this
not
time?
necessarily up at like election time.
Bernie Sanders re-election. Let me see if it pops up when I type that in. On January 8th, 2024, he stated he would decide on whether or not to seek re-election in the near future. On May 6th, Sanders formally announced that he will run for re-election. Nice. Okay, May 6th. That's Crystal and I's anniversary.
Oh shit!
He announced that on our anniversary. Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of funny.
So yeah, he's gonna run again. I don't know if he's up in this election, but he's got that seat on lock.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just how it is, right? Like certain politicians, it's just it's a foregone conclusion. Homie's got it from now until his dying day, and
we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. My neighbor has a Trump inflatable on his grass. I don't know if I mentioned that last week, but it's an inflatable guy in a suit, little blonde hair. It's got a MAGA hat, and it's got his tie. Like the wind blows it to the side. Like people go hard for this dude. Like someone went to Google and typed in Donald Trump inflatable and put that shit in their front yard. Is kind of wild.
Look, I'm one of those people, man. I'm old school kind of in that, especially if you're at like a party or some event or some family gathering, like just shut the fuck up about politics.
Yeah.
Like, because people disagree so wildly and so strongly, and I'm one of those people too who would disagree so wildly and strongly, and it's like, let's just not talk about that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's people sort of piss me off with the ones who are like, they'll say something about politics that's super insane, and they act like
you should agree with that shit.
Like, yeah, and they act like they're saying like, what do you want for dinner? Like telling a story that's some nonchalant nothing story, and it's like, you can't just set off a fucking nuclear bomb and then like casually treat it like it was nothing, you know? And so I'm old school on that shit. Like, just don't leave politics to the politics. Like, don't fucking bring it into some shit that's not supposed to be political. But that's, look, with the Trump people, they're the craziest with that, right? Like, they'll just bring it up out of nowhere, like, Joe Biden should be in prison. You know, like, they'll just say some shit.
Wild shit.
And you're like, but again, in real life too, just like we were talking, I'm passive. I don't want, like, I'm just trying to chill. And so I'd be like,
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I just walk away, right? Like, I'm not interested, bro. I'm not interested. And of course, people, when it's me in particular, family members of mine, whatever, they want to talk about politics because they know I do it for a living.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a tough spot. Because, yeah, even with, like, my family in sports, it's kind of like, I don't want to, like, yeah, the Yankees are doing well. Cool. For you, you're probably like, I spoke about that shit already. Like, let's talk about whatever else.
Yeah. And they ask open-ended questions like, what do you think of Kamala? Or like, what do you think of Kamala's campaign? And it's like, I could do 2 hours on that, and I don't even want to do 3 seconds on it. Could we like fucking...
Are you putting out like an official like predictions video or some shit?
I haven't decided if I'm going to put out an official predictions video. I haven't decided that. I mean, I'll do something, but I don't know if it'll be predictions.
Yeah.
You know, a long time ago, I did that Obama video, like gave Obama's administration a report card.
Yeah.
And like went through all the policies and was like, this is what the grade was. And I haven't done that for Trump yet, mostly because it's just so much fucking work.
Well, you predicted that Trump was going to win back in 88, right?
No, in 2016. So I didn't, like, right before the election and in my actual prediction, I thought Hillary was going to eke it out.
Oh, okay.
I thought she would like barely with 270 something electoral votes, like eke it out.
Yeah.
Right. But
well, you said don't like kind of downplay that he's like a...
Yes, I was warning the entire time, stop writing him off. He's got a good chance of winning this shit. So I was early on that I was warning everybody. He's hitting all the right notes. He's doing a really good job campaigning.
So hopefully you're right. He's not doing it right this time.
Yeah, I mean, look, I hope, right? I hope. We shall see. But what I might do, to your question, what I might do is sort of a version of that Trump report card thing.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, just release like, look, this is the dude who is on the ballot, and you need to know what he actually did as president, and here's all the shit he did as president. And so do what you want, but like, to me, it's like an anti-endorsement of Trump.
Yeah.
Like, here's the shit he did, and if you support this, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right? So that I might do.
Well, it gets, and just last point, it gets me so mad that it's like, she's doing the 60-minute interview. She's answering questions on different shows. Like, he's not even there to answer those shits. And if he does, it's not answering the question, and people will still pick her apart for her answer when he's not even in a position to answer those type of questions. And if he is, he gives some type of answer that definitely doesn't answer the question, but people just write it off as like, well, that's just, you know, he's going to answer it how he answers it. But they kind of just downplay that he never answers the question either. Like, it's like he's just so dismissed that his answers make no sense. Her answers make no sense either, but they expect that his answer is going to make no sense. They expect her to have a better answer.
Yeah, so there is this like weird double standard that happens that annoys me too, because I see this. I remember Kamala released, like, this is kind of early on. It took her too long, to be fair, but she released a list of like, hey, here's some policies that I'm really going to push for, right? And so she releases it, and then like, I remember for the next like 2 or 3 weeks, I would still see commentary and videos of people saying like,
she hasn't released
any policies. And it's like, she literally just released some shit with a $6,000 child tax credit and like $25,000 for entrepreneurs and startups, and she wants to ban price gouging, and she wants to get rid of medical debt. Like, she literally released these things, and then you just pretended that she didn't.
Or
and
don't
then
talk
the other
about
thing
it or
is like,
something.
yeah, and the other thing is like, Trump will say the most incoherent, dumb shit you've ever heard, propose some idiotic, half-baked nonsense, and he gets a pass, and people don't say like, you know, Trump's not policy-focused enough. You don't hear that, right? And so it is like the Democrats are held to a different standard because they're more responsible, right? They are less idiotic. They have their problems, but, you know, they're corporate centrist liberals. Like, that's just what it is. And that's held to the standard of like, it needs to be reasonably logical, whereas Trump just gets to get away with fucking everything because it's like people have scandal fatigue about Trump.
Yeah.
There's so many scandals so often that even when a real juicy, crazy scandal comes along, you might not even hear about it because it was the number 7 on the list of the things for that day that happened. Like when he started selling fucking Bibles. Like, you're running for president and you're selling Trump Bibles,
yes, wow.
which, by the way, are made in China. And then the state of Oklahoma is buying up your Bibles to fucking put in classrooms. Like, he's doing some NFT yes. And he's doing some crypto scam bullshit and selling like these weird silver coins and selling these Trump watches, which are like just a giant money laundering scheme.
Good for you, man. Get your money.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that isn't even discussed, bro. Like, nobody knows that he's a fucking 3 a.m. infomercial salesman right now, and he's trying to cash in on this shit, and they act like it's normal for a guy running for president. Could you imagine if Joe Biden or Kamala Harris was doing, like, infomercial-style shit, trying to sell watches or any sort of shit? Like, what are we talking? Everybody would be like, you're fucking disqualified from running.
And then he'll fucking have an interview with, like, Andrew Schulz, and they'll be like, well, there's a guy answering questions. And it's like,
I know. Oh my God, that drove me crazy, bro.
He's getting questions from Andrew Schulz.
I know, and like the thing I don't like about it, he had his moments where he like sort of laughed at Trump or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you read the comments in that video, people are like, "Oh, bro, like Trump just being one of the guys, bro. Like podcast Trump is the best Trump, bro." And it's like, Andrew, was this really what you should have been doing? Like, do you really think you're in a position where you can do an interview with somebody who is the most powerful man on planet Earth and is trying to be again, and you think you're sufficiently going to hold his feet to the fire, and you think you're going to do a good job sort of holding him accountable for the shit he's done? Like, just be what you are.
Yeah.
You're like a fucking comedy podcast that's all broed out and shit. Be that. Be that. I got no problems with you, bro. Just do that shit. But once you invite on Donald Trump and you don't bring up any of the fucking serious shit about how he cut taxes for corporations and billionaires, and he's going to raise taxes on working class people in his second term, and he fucking assassinated a top Iranian general, and 2 million people lost health insurance with his time in office because he waged fucking war on Obamacare. Like, if you're going to invite him on, you got to bring up some shit.
Yeah, you can't just ask him about Diddy or some shit.
Yeah, the best we got was like, what happened to Mike Pence? He asked him what happened to Mike Pence, right? And that was like sort of a wink and a nod, like, you wanted that motherfucker to get killed, and you're pissed at him for not overthrowing the election, right? So he had his moments, but again, the comments really gave the game away, where people were like, "Oh yeah, Trump, bro, Trump," and it's like, this is not serious. You're not actually confronting. Like, did you bring up any of the 91 criminal fucking charges against this guy?
No, of
any
course
of them?
not.
Exactly, and it's like, if there was a Democrat sitting there and they had 91 criminal charges, would people be playing fucking patty cakes with the Democrat?
Oh, shut up.
Like, hooray, hooray! It's like, no, fuck off, man. Yeah, I'm sort of annoyed by that.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I was annoyed by that. Yeah, Anyway, all right, we can wrap it up now.
Damn.
We actually beat our last one was an hour and 51 minutes. We are an hour 59 and 12 seconds right
So now we're gonna have people fucking their duration's gonna be like 6 minutes.
We'll see. Maybe I'll try to spruce up the title a little bit or some shit.
No, leave
see if
it. Keep it OG. I was thinking before
sure.
we got on, you were just talking about like how we've been doing this forever. Like, I think I saw like the old school kind of like, I don't know if we probably do look older in our like default photos from like day one to whatever day we are now. But
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
it reminded me when they do the NBA photo shoots of like year one versus LeBron in year 22. And it's just like fucking aging is a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, we got to get some Botox, get some fucking duck lips,
Some
get some
shit.
BBLs in this bitch. Like we got to figure it out, man, because we're aging just like everybody
I
else.
get grays. These are the only spots I get kind of grays right now. Is just like this weird spot in my fucking goatee here.
No, not for nothing, bro. Like you held on a long fucking time with your hair color.
I'm surprised.
You know I've been dyeing my shit since we were in like fucking high school.
Your shit looks good though, man. Like my shit, like this, just here and here gets like fucking random.
The blonde is a trick so that I don't have to dye it anymore.
But it looks good, bro. Like it's a good look on you.
4 months. Yeah, I agree, and I only have to do this like once every 4 months, and then I don't have to do shit. When I had to dye my hair the brown color, that was like an every 3 week thing. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this shit anymore. This is crazy.
You got a good like, but you have a good face to try different shit. My shit is like, I got to stay with what I have, and hopefully nothing throws it off kilter.
Nah, you're chilling, bro. And not for nothing, you've always had a nice beard. Like
my beard has always been kind of butter.
Your beard is always full. Like you don't have the same like mine is patchy where you could see my skin.
Yeah, no, but it's fine. It looks fine.
Yeah, but you've always had a good beard. But, all right, guys. We love y'all, and we will talk to you soon.